In the morning when I'm driving, I really come alive when I listen to my Ronnie, I listen to my Ronnie Q. They are rare and they are few who can compare with Ronnie Q. So grab a chair, she's coming through. She's on the air, it's time for Ronnie Q. They are rare and they are few who can compare with Ronnie Q. So grab a chair, she's coming through. She's on the air, it's time for Ronnie Q. Ronnie Q. It's time for Ronnie Q. Ronnie Q. It's time for Ronnie Q. In the morning while I'm driving, Ronnie Q. I really come alive when it's time for Ronnie Q. I listen to my Ronnie. I listen to my Ronnie. It's time for Ronnie Q.
Good morning. What is going on? Let's get on with the day's news. Okay. Thank you for being here. Who is that one person of the two? Very Carey. We were there. We just didn't hear. Very Carey. You were there, but you just didn't hear. Oh my God. I am going to. Oh my God. I am going to have to figure out something. I'm going to have to work with that today. I'm definitely going to have to work with that today. So, there's that. There is that. I don't. I didn't understand. See, like I did the test yesterday and all of that, and then set up everything, and then when I came back today, it was like my whole thing. It was like I start a new broadcast, and I was like, I already have a broadcast set up in here and saved, and so I had to start a new broadcast, and then it was just like, where are the features to do what I need to do? Girl, I am so frustrated. Anyway, so that is that. That is that. So let me start with my news. Let me do my news. If you are unaware of what's going on, that's why we are here. Okay, so let me take down the kitty cat and get started. Okay, so um, I I'm not sure if you guys know that 4547 is talking about um, doing some strikes on Nigeria, of all places. Now, I did not realize that America was a Christian nation. I did not realize that America was the guard dog for Christians all across the world. So, under the guise of Christians being persecuted, under the guise of Christians being persecuted in Nigeria, we are supposed to send our military over to Nigeria to fight the Nigerians. They are deciding to send the military over to Nigeria to fight Nigerians, and at the same time, these rebels, you must understand, are also they're also killing Muslim people over there. But it's the United States position and job to go over there and fight the good. What is this? What is the what did they the? Are we back on the Christian Crusades again with this government? Is this what we're doing in this government? So, uh, of course, that's not what it's about. Uh, when 45, 47 went to that church and said, if you vote for me now, you'll never have to vote again. Do you think that they're fighting behind Christianity? See, Christianity is the thing that they put up to make the absurd and disgusting things that they do seem like it's done for a good thing. So let me share this information with you. Do not be fooled by we are doing this because we care so much about Christianity. What is so Christian about anything this administration has been doing? Anything? Anything? Okay, so let me share this with you. Let me share this with you real quick. Where is it? I think I have it right here. Hold on, let me see. And you notice, you will also notice. You will also notice, isn't it strange? He has decided to send troops to Nigeria after he made that disastrous deal with China, trying to get those rare earth minerals. You notice how he uh, the master of deals, the deal maker, couldn't get a deal with China on those rare earth minerals, and then as soon as he got back, all of a sudden he's going to strike Nigeria. Okay, so let's share this. Let me share it right here, and we're going to do a deep dive as well. They're doing a deep dive on this channel that I'm sharing with you. I am going to do a deep dive as well because this is a whole lot of BS. Okay, so this is my first video I will share with you about Nigeria. Please hit the like button. I'd appreciate that. Share screen. Here we go.
And Trump setting his sights on Nigeria. In multiple social media posts, Trump accused Nigeria's government of allowing the killing of Christians and said the U.S. may, quote, go into the West African country and, quote, wipe out Islamic terrorists he says are responsible for horrible atrocities. He says that he's instructed the Pentagon to prepare for possible action. Meantime, Nigerian President Bola Ahmed Tinubu says religious freedom and tolerance are core tenets of Nigeria's collective identity and will remain so. He also said his administration is committed to working with the U.S. government to protect communities of all faiths. For more on this, I'm joined by Atlantic staff writer Graham Wood, who has reported extensively in Nigeria. Graham, thank you so much for joining me here today. Now, Nigeria is nearly evenly split between Christians and Muslims. Is there any credibility to President Trump's claim that Christianity faces an existential threat there?
No, that would be news to the 100 million plus Christians who are living full and happy lives in Nigeria. But it is true that Boko Haram and other Islamist groups have created a hellish atmosphere for Christians and for Muslims who are under their territory. So the idea that Christians are persecuted, not false, but a lot of other people are too. The Boko Haram's a group that's part of the Islamic State, and if you remember from when the Islamic State was a going concern in Syria a couple of years ago, they were very, very, very harsh against fellow Muslims as well. So this is a very messy situation, and it certainly doesn't rise to the level of possibly extinguishing Christianity in Nigeria.
Now, in terms of that situation, Amnesty International calls the violence in Nigeria a humanitarian crisis. Do we know who's responsible and who the victims typically are?
Yeah, so this group Boko Haram has been around for 25 years or so, and it's gotten more ideological and quite violent over the years. Since 2009, when its leader was killed, they've started to. The group's name means books are forbidden, so like Western education is forbidden, which gives you a sense of the type of real law that they would like to.
Books are forbidden. It seems like the right would like that Boko Haram. As the many books as they're taking out of the libraries, wouldn't they be akin to Boko Haram? So what are they fighting them for? When the American government is taking books out of libraries, out of the Pentagon, what's their problem with Boko Haram? It seems like they're jealous of Boko Haram. Let's continue.
To inflict on everybody. That group has been displacing millions of people in Nigeria. So when we're talking about the death toll, we're talking about people who have had to flee their homes and who have suffered from disease as well as direct violence from that group.
Now, you've reported extensively about the rise.
I think that our current government desires to be Boko Haram. Look at all the millions of people that they have let billionaires come in and wreck their job, wreck the economy, wreck their businesses. Do Are they trying to really follow in the footsteps of Boko Haram in the United States? This right leaning government. Is this what's going on? I'm very curious. The disease, the disease. We have a whole kook over our CDC and our Health and Human Services that is not do not have children on a vaccine schedule who are going back to school, and say that black people don't need as many vaccines as non-white people. I mean, black people don't need as many vaccines as white people. It seems like we're trying to they are trying to become Boko Haram. So you think that this is what this is about? What do you think that any of this shit about religion, a whole a whole a whole person who said he can do anything to women. He can just walk up to them and grab them by the pussy. Do you think that he's worried about Christianity over in Nigeria? I'm just very curious if that's what you think. A man who said that his press secretary was so beautiful, and it was something about her mouth, and it seemed like her mouth could run like a, what did he call it, a machine gun. Who sits up and says their mouth is so beautiful, look how it works, it looked like it can work like a machine gun? You think that he's worried about Christianity over in Nigeria? No. Okay. Okay, the link is in the description box, but I'm gonna tell you what I believe. World War III seems possible every day. I'm going to really share with you what I do believe. So the rare earth minerals in China, he was unable to seal that deal. So let me share with you what what is the, to me, obvious reason why he is going over to Nigeria, trying to steal rare earth minerals. If you are unaware, Nigeria has over 700 billion with a B dollars worth of rare earth minerals. So has nothing to do with no Christianity. This is all bullshit. Nigeria deposits worth 700 billion can meet global demands for critical minerals uh, alky. Let me find this. Oh my god, all these pop-ups. I hate all these pop-ups. Hold on. Okay, here we go. Nigeria Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Dr. Oladele Alki, has advertised Nigeria's critical solid mineral deposits valued at over $700 billion, a development which signifies the nation's readiness to play a significant role in the meeting global demands for a critical mineral. God damn, let me excuse me. I don't have my glasses on. Let me increase this. Hold on. Okay. 700 billion in development, which signifies the nation's readiness to play a significant role in meeting global demands for critical minerals. Alaki, who was speaking at a special session held on the sidelines of the United Nations General Assembly in New York, noted that Nigeria's mineral wealth positioned it amongst the top global players in the energy sector. So you think that this is about religion? I'm just curious. Okay, speaking on the topic of from critical minerals to energy transition, Africa in the Africa is in the driver's seat at the event organized by the Corporate Council of Africa. Outline highlighted the deposits as having substantial potential for future expansion. So you think this is about religion? You think this is about religion? Also, Africa was invited to join the BRICS. I don't know if they were invited. They have two phases where you are invited and you are like a guest of the BRICS, and then where you are a full-fledged BRICS member. Uh, I'm gonna check that out. So, to be clear, he said that Africa as a continent is well positioned to lead the global energy transition, largely driven by critical minerals. Alkaline pointed out that Nigeria has historically played a vital role in the global energy landscape, including as a significant oil exporter and a prominent supplier of liquefied natural natural gas to Europe during the Russian-Ukraine crisis. The minister stressed that the increasing importance of minerals in the continent of new energy sources, electric vehicles, and energy storage. He emphasized that this trend is irreversible and will continue to grow as the world embraces a lower carbon future with a focus on environmental, social, and governance factors. So, this is interesting. So, uh, we understand that these electric cars and uh, clean energy is to try to save the planet. Now, we also understand that these rare earth minerals are used for batteries, for computers, for iPhones, and the such. So we also understand that our president don't give a fuck about no clean energy, as he has slash all the clean energy deals that have also put a lot of people out of work that Biden had put in. So we know he don't care about no clean energy. We also know he don't care about no clean energy because he has our whole fucking army, navies, and marines set up to go into Venezuela, that has the large oil reserves on the whole planet. So we know it's not about the EV vehicles and green energy and all of that stuff that is important to the rest of the world with common sense, because they see how uh, oil is actually ruining our planet. So who's gonna mine all these rare earth minerals? Who's gonna be put in charge and taking care of that? See, he's doing this for the billionaire class. See, my whole point is that's who's running America. Billionaires who want to go in and be colonizer of places to loot and just steal from other nations for the things that they need when they are absolute billionaires. And what about doing business, making their own deals? No, they just want to wipe out a black country because they are a black country. There's no such thing as going in and doing a deal and making it work. It's not like they don't have the money. It's not like they don't have the money. Who is this profiting? It's profiting the people at the top who has the money to go over there and make deals like decent people. But they don't see the humanity in black people, so why bother? If it's yours, it's mine. I will take it from you. You have no you have no station in life. Your country and your statehood means absolutely nothing to me, because I'm used to just going in and taking whatever I want. Okay, that's what I have to say about that. So let me say, let me say this. It has always in the black community. In the black community, they always want to tell you that Africans sold you to the white men. They want to tell you that black people were not the first people to be enslaved. Uh, but you got to understand that these Africans had what y'all want to try to pretend were the same equality of slavery in Africa that was in the United States. No, it was more like indentured servants. See, the Africans who had slaves themselves did not treat the slave as animals. They did not take the humanity away from their slaves. They were more like, how the white people had indentured servants who came over from England to work off their debt. They were more like that. They didn't treat those white people as they treated the chattel slaves that they got from over in Africa. So don't try to play that game. Do not try to play that game. They didn't think that these people were so disgusting that they would treat human beings the way that black people were treated in chattel slavery. See, they couldn't. Their minds didn't couldn't wrap around that they would be treating human beings the way that black people were treated as slaves in the United States of America. But they don't want that in your history. But they want to try to blame slavery on Africans. Let me tell you something. For far too long, in my opinion, for far too long, there has been too much of a separation of what you are, and I'm not this, and I'm not black, and I'm not African American because I don't come from Africa, and this, that, and the other. Unless you can prove that you did not. 9 times out of 10, you have African lineage. So even if your family did not come over here via slavery, you still have African lineage, because we do know that Africans sailed the world prior to Christopher Columbus. So there were Africans that had already planted their feet on American soil prior to the great loss of Christopher Columbus. They wanted to make you think he discovered something when he was lost as a motherfucker, and we supposed to celebrate this motherfucker coming in and trying to colonize a whole fucking nation, and we are to pretend that there were no people in the United States, including black people. The fuck out of my face. See, that's why they don't want you to know history. So my whole point is, it's been far too long that black people have continued to buy into some black people, not all black people, of course, have continued to buy into I'm not this, I'm not that, I'm separate, I'm different, I'm no, you got if you are from the if you are Afro Latina, you got off the boat prior to the last stop in America. All of this, Afro that, we it's time now. The Latinas, they ought to realize that. But hey, you realize whatever when you realize it. I know the white Latinas hate the black Latinas and treat them horribly. It's time for black people to understand that it's time for us to stand as one, in my opinion. It is really time for us to stand as one, because united we stand and divided we fall. That's all I got to say. Um, that is a long held fact. Thank you, Jackie. I appreciate you helping me. I didn't even put my goals up today. Hey, Vibrant. Um, hey, them slick. The body. It is good to see you over here. I appreciate you guys' support. Now, I also want to share with you. You know, um, I want to share us another piece of information with you. Is that it? Let me see. Let me share this with you uh, about Nigeria again, so we can be clear. Um, Nigeria's rare earth minerals and their location, unveiling untapped riches. And that is all. If you believe that 4547 is talking about invading, actually invading Nigeria behind Christianity, and as many Christians uh, are being killed as Muslims are being killed. If you think he gives a damn about Christianity, you are sadly mistaken. Nigeria, a nation synonymous with its vast oil gas reserves, is poised to emerge as a significant player in a new, even more critical mineral frontier. Rare earth elements. These 17 chemically similar metallic elements are not just obscure scientific curiosity, they are the bedrock of our modern technology world. From the powerful magnets in electric vehicles and wind turbines to the intricate components in smartphones, advanced medical devices, and sophisticated defense systems. REE are truly economy, while Nigeria's rare earth industry is still in its uh, nascent stages. The nation's diverse geological landscape harbors substantial potential, uh, positioning it to become a critical supplier in the burgeoning global critical minerals market. Okay, so let me drop this link. This is this link is also in my description box. I want you guys to uh, understand that we are about to go to war to make billionaires richer. I just want you to understand that. I'm gonna drop both of those links to those articles in my description box. I haven't done it yet. They are in there now because we really need to understand the value of ourselves, and we really need to understand and be able to counter this propaganda. They're trying to make it seem like these African people are doing such bad things to Christians, like these soulless motherfuckers give a fuck about Christianity in the first place. So and you will have dummies out here parroting, well, what they doing is so bad to the African. I heard that stupid ass MU actually said that you and you guys, the Democrats, and you guys are fighting for the wrong thing, and it was the Republicans who fought to free the slaves. It was the Republicans who also fought to keep the slaves that long. They had no choice. And she says, you want to talk about history? It was the Republicans who fought for the Civil Rights Act. The Civil Rights Act. Okay, let me drop this second link so we can move on, because we got dumb people out here talking and trying to recreate history as if it's okay. See, because what you need to know is you need to know the facts. Why do you think they are trying to take our history away from us? Why do you think they don't want you to know the facts? So you can't argue the truth. You can't argue the truth. See, I was listening to the amazing Lucas, and he had one thing that was so on point. He said, "Why do you think that these people know so much and know so many statistics about black this, black that, black crime per capita? They can tell you how many per capita black people do this, per capita black people do more of that, per capita black people black, but they don't know the statistics about themselves." But see, because that is a tactic to try to make you feel like they know that you are worse than them. How come they don't know statistics about themselves? Now during this now during uh, this time where the president has chosen to not distribute food stamps. Now they're trying to tell you per capita there are more black people on food stamps, when per fact there are more white people on food stamps. So now a judge has ruled that he uh, he must start the food stamps up by Wednesday. So he comes out this morning. Over the weekend, his lawyers, they said, were very angry after the judge had made that ruling on Friday that he had to get these food stamps rolling out again. And now, so now here it is Monday. Well, he's going to have his lawyers. They're very upset because he shouldn't have to do what's lawful, basically. Trying to figure out a way to how to say that he shouldn't have to do what he don't want to do, even though it's the law. He's going to have his lawyers go in and clarify what exactly he mean. Motherfucker, he mean to get these food stamps rolling to the people who are qualified to have the poor people. See, he needs clarification about orders and shit when it comes to food stamps. It's very simple, bitch. It's very simple. Okay, so if you haven't, let me drop that link as well. if you haven't watched The Amazing Lucas, make sure you go watch The Amazing Lucas. Now, there is something else that I would like to share with you as well. I don't know. I know that you guys were out there. You probably heard 45, 47 say how he was taking the homeless out off the streets in D.C. He also said that uh, uh, somebody from Fox News said that they've been the black guy from the black brown noser from Fox and Friends said, we spend billions on these people and they just gonna have to do something. They, yeah, put them in jail or something. And then the white guy, not Ducey, the other guy said, just kill him, just kill him. And gave a half-hearted apology of saying that you need to just kill the homeless people. So what I want you to know is they found a solution for the homeless people. I'm not sure if you guys are aware of this, but they figure that they have found a solution for homelessness in the United States. And they can involuntarily uh, put you in these homeless institutions that they have created. Let me share a little bit from this article. Red State shocked with massive internment camp to fulfill 4547's order. Okay, in an effort to fulfill 4547 executive order on homelessness, Utah is building a massive facility that housing advocates warn will function as an internment camp where the unhoused will be subject to forced labor. Last month, the Utah Homeless Service Agency came to an agreement for the state to acquire a nearly 16-acre parcel of rural land in the North Point area of northwest Salt Lake City to construct the first of its kind, the first, not the last, the first of its kind facility, which is slated to have 1,300 beds. Uh, the genesis of the project began in July following 4547 Ending Crime and Disorder on the American Streets executive order, which threatened to withhold funding from states and cities unless they criminalize homelessness, people camping on streets, and ordered the Attorney General to expand the use of involuntary civil commitment. They are going to involuntary commit you uh, to these places. For adults experiencing homelessness, you're going to be involuntary committed. Also, read the very savage time. Well, that's something different. Okay. Uh, Despite a large body of evidence showing that their effectiveness at curbing crime while keeping people off the street, the order also required the Department of Housing, HUD, to end its support of housing first policies that provide unhoused people with homes without the requirement of behavioral health treatment or sobriety. So, what they're saying is you cannot get a home like they used to just try to get the crazy people off the street. What they're saying is, no, we're not going to give the crazy, we're going to complain about the crazy people being on the street, but we're not going to do what it takes to get them to any mental clarity. We're going to involuntarily put them in these internment camps where they're going to have to work. They're going to have to keep up the encampment themselves. That's going to be part of their work duties. But see, we like to complain. Nobody's doing nothing about these crazy people out here. Well, at least the housing first would get them off of the street. Do you know how many people are stressed the fuck out because they have to be on the street? They try to act like people really want to be on the streets. They act like people well they're just out there using drugs because drugs is all they got. You think that people in a sound state of mind would be just like ooh la li da la da la da la da. Do you think that homelessness in, put that type of attitude in people? Or do you think that being homeless and destitute and having nothing to make people crash out? People act like they're surprised that I don't do drugs. I'm not surprised that people who have nothing are out there doing drugs. I'm not surprised. Okay, so I would say that about that. Less than a week after Trump's homelessness order, Utah Republican Governor Spencer Cox, you know Spencer Cox, who came out here and wrapped up that Tyler Robinson case, and he changed clothes here, and he got on the roof, and he that one, uh, as well as the state Senate, as well as the state Senate. President and House Speaker, both Republicans, sent letters state to the state's Homeless Service Board, which was created last year following a legislative push by the Cicero Institute. Now, this Cicero Institute is going state to state to state to present legislation to make homelessness a crime and having avenues in which ways that state and city governments can have these people infirmed into these camps. Okay, I just want you to know who that is. Cicero Institute, a far right think tank. You know how Project 2025 is a think tank. They just think. They're just thinking. And this is what they have time to think about. Cicero Institute, a far right think tank that has pro- uh, proposed aggressive measures to criminalize homelessness and which has had major influence over 4547's crackdown on the homeless during his second term. In a letter, the leaders agreed with the Trump administration. These are the Utah governor, and they sent 4547 a letter. The letter they agreed uh, with the Trump administration. Let me see this. Hold on, 1 minute. Let me see if I can find this letter right there. I can't find it right there. Hold on. In the letter, the leaders agreed with the Trump administration that they do not support housing first policies that lack accountability. They directed the board to accelerate programs on a transformative service-based homeless camps that prioritizes recovery, treatment, and long-term outcomes, not just emergency shelters. So, do are they closing down emergency shelters as well? So, are they closing down shelters as well? Hold on 1 second. That's what I want to know. It appears that they will be closing down shelters. Here is a post. Utah just approved a 1,300 person mega camp for homeless people 7 miles from town. No transportation, locked units, and even forced labor. They call it work conditioned housing. We call it what it is, modern day internment. Oh, I call it what it is. It's modern day slavery. Okay, so As far back as 2023, Trump has proposed using large parcels of inexpensive land to set up tent cities or camps for homeless people, coupled with a pledge to use every tool, lever, and authority to clear encampments from city streets, except for as he continues to uh, uh, lay off people, as these billionaires continue to make jobs obsolete and take away jobs and give them to AI. This is what your government is doing. This is what giving these billionaires more government contract is doing. Is taking away jobs. And you guys still, you guys still talking about shopping at Amazon after Amazon said that they are going to take away 600,000 jobs and give to AI, and y'all still think that it's a good thing to shop with Amazon. That just blows my mind. The fact that you still have people shopping with Amazon really blows my mind. 600,000 jobs they want to give to AI, and you still put money in their pockets. Oh, you don't work for Amazon? Well, wait until these 600,000 people who won't be working for Amazon are given their pink slip. Wait until wait until that influx of people don't have jobs. Wait until that influx of people don't have jobs in the United States. You live in the United States. You don't work for Amazon, so it don't affect you. A lot of people like, I don't do this, so they don't affect it. It's going to affect us all. And y'all still giving these companies money by choice. So you don't have to shop at Amazon. But these are choices you are making. And the choices you make let Jeff Bezos think it is okay to get rid of 600,000 jobs because of the choices you made. KT, that's why they want to take the history books out of school. That's why they want to take the history books out of school, because they don't want you to they don't want you to know about the bus boycott, where people walked and drove each other and made gypsy cabs and got together and worked together and made sure people got to their destination. That's why. Because that unity is the thing that actually broke segregation on these buses. That's why they don't want you to know history about the Montgomery bus boycott. Because they don't know. They don't want you to understand that when you stick together for a fucking purpose, and when you are willing to say, this is unacceptable, shit change. Okay. So I don't believe that people are still purchasing from Amazon. Yes, I said it. I said it. I don't believe that people are still uh, undermining themselves while they thinking they are being elite just because they're shopping at Amazon, a company that bought up all that has put a whole lot of small companies out of business. And a company that undercuts people who have unique items that they are selling on Amazon, and then they steal the idea and prop up the Amazon version of the people who are selling their wares on Amazon. They highlight the copy that Amazon copies off of people who are still trying to have a foot in the game. And y'all still shopping at Amazon. As Amazon's still packaging ideas, product ideas, and boost their Amazon brand to the top of where they stole off of somebody who is actually selling a product on Amazon. And they're about to get rid of 600,000 of workers. So I don't know how I got on Amazon, but I'm gonna stay on Amazon because none of this makes any sense. Uh, how do you think that this is going to add to the homeless crisis? And the answer to the homeless crisis is to put them involuntarily into internment camps. That's the best thing, that's the best solution that they have to deal with the homeless people as they cut taxes on the rich. Because the rich needs their tax cuts. And government is not supposed to do anything once the government has put you in these precarious positions in the first place. But it's your fault. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Per capita, you guys are worse people. Now, what is? There is another agenda. Let me find this right quick. That they have going on about the new jobs. What is it called? It is called something. Let me find this for you right quick. Uh, if you are not uh, if you are not up on her, she is talking about who they are looking to hire. The Labor Department has put out some pretty draconian types of old world, make America great again types of things. Let me share this with you as well about who U.S. Department of Labor has a whole slew of pictures of these old world, take me back to the 50s, kind of like the Department of, kind of like the Department of, not kind of like the ICE had about all of these visions of the past. Let me show you who they say they are hiring. So it's not any people other than white men. I need you to understand where all of this is going. All of this is connected. Uh, this is the this is who they envision. The U.S. Department of Labor, the American dream belongs to the American people. The process is in place and the mission is set. Project Firewall is what it's called. Will restore the American dream by ensuring American jobs go to Americans first. So let's see a representation of these American first. Let's look at uh, their advertisement about these jobs going to Americans first. What do you find uh, kind of the same about these American first? Look, the old quaint white family set in the 50s with the church and the factories booming in the background and their little white house. What do you see? What do you see? Restoring American dream. Okay. Look at the patriotic soldier coming home and holding the flag, and look at all of this patriotism. Pledge of allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance. America will rise stronger than ever before. America will rise. Whose slogan is that? Whose slogan is that? about something will rise again. Isn't it the Confederate the Klan or something like that? The Confederate will rise again. Isn't that the real slogan? America will rise stronger than ever before. Do you not see what is going on here? It is not going to be easy, but the American dream is worth fighting for. Every Sunday morning, Harold Anderson, a dream worth fighting for. Do you see this? The U.S. Department of Labor, our work on Project Firewall is critical in our mission to put America first and restore the American dream. These are fundamental from Fortune magazine. So that's what the firewall. And who do you think the firewall will allow in? Now, speaking of which, speaking of which, did you hear that Gail King got fired from CBS? Did you hear that Gail King got fired from CBS? And it wasn't only, hey, Baron, it wasn't only Gail King. While we're on the topic about employment, why do you think that DEI was such a thing with them? Why do you think DEI was such a thing with them? Let me turn up the volume and let you hear it from a producer at CBS who said that only black people got fired. He thought that his whole division got fired, but the only people who got fired in his division was the black people. They had said that they were going to work to try to ensure that people would get on in other divisions, but they couldn't do it. And he was thinking like, oh, everybody got fired, but they were able to get the jobs to non-black people. They were able to fit them in different divisions. Okay, so that's why.
That's CBS, and every producer on my team who got laid off is a person of color. Every person who gets to stay and will be relocated within the company is a white person. Now, in my meeting with the executive who told me I was getting laid off, I specifically asked him if it was a consideration for us to be relocated somewhere else within the company, and he said that we advocated to keep the show. We advocated to try to get you relocated somewhere, and we couldn't. Because I asked him, why are you the person who is making this decision or delivering the news that we're being laid off? And he said, oh, it could have been anyone. Only to later find out, because it wasn't until I went downstairs thinking that me and all of my colleagues had been laid off, that I found out that it was only the people of color. So I went one by one to my white colleagues. Are you getting laid off? No. 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 So I went back up to his office and I told him, I think you lied to my face. And come to find out, it was not his decision to eliminate the show that I work for. But he did get to decide who got to stay. I told him, you said that you couldn't get us relocated, only to find out that you were able to get some people relocated and they all happen to be white. Am I supposed to believe that that's coincidence? And he said, yes, I'm supposed to believe that's coincidence. I said, do you believe that's coincidence? He said, I do, because I chose to keep the people who I had worked with before. So mind you, not only is it not based on merit, it is in its result racist. I don't care if you decided to keep people who had purple colored hair. You deciding to keep people who you had worked with before, which don't even know if that's true. If the outcome of that decision is racist, the action was racist, that shit is fucked.
So there's some more job output that is coming. I go with what I'm familiar with. It has nothing to do about you. I'm saving my people. It's time for us to start saving our people. It is time for us to start saving our people. And unfortunately, our people are so ignorant to what is going on with them. But there's a solution for that. Let's get back to this story that is in the this raw story. Let's get back into that because they have a solution for this. Now, it's kind of like ICE. They are involuntarily committing people to this, and they are taking it statewide. So they are going to make being homeless illegal. And who are they going to, once you put it in the it being illegal, it is going to be police. Now, how many times? So we are going to trust the police to suggest and to lock up people who they feel are on drugs, have mental illness. Have not. We're not going to have these social workers or anything. The people who are mentally ill are going to be policed into these internment camps, these work camps, into slavery, modern day slavery. Understand that. People with substance abuse problems uh, automatically interned into a work program. Okay, let's be clear. The police are going to be the ones who are, since it's illegal, who handles things like that. Maybe that's why the ICE budget is so big. Maybe these are going to be the people who are policing also, because we do understand that ICE is has gotten a contract to spy on you. We are aware that ICE has been given a contract. Now, why ICE is giving a contract to spy on people? I talked about that last week. Where they can turn your cell phone on, know your location, turn your mic on, hear what you're talking about. Why did ICE get that? So you're gonna be policed, whether you like it or not, into going into these camps. And the police never wrongly arrest anyone. There's not people who have been arrested and uh, either their sergeant, either their lieutenant comes and take the cuff off of the person at the site of the arrest, or once they get to the jail, charges are dropped, or once they go to court in the morning, charges are dropped, or once they go to court a year or two later, charges are finally dropped, or once they have served 5, 10, 15, 20 to 40 years in jail, charges are dropped. So, it's not like police make mistakes. If you are arrested for something, surely you are guilty of it in the United States of America. Who do you think that they're going to be making these mistakes on? Who do you think they're going to be making these mistakes on? Do you think that this is a pure program? So you think that this is pure? Something that they are expanding through all states, and plan to expand through all states to be able to involuntarily commit you to a work camp? Who do you think this for? As they've already said that people who protest are looked upon as terrorists. Who do you think this for? Okay, I'm just giving you the information. Okay, okay. Now, where am I? Coupled with the pledge to use every tool, lever, and authority to clear encampments from city streets. On the podcast Invisible People, which focuses on homelessness in America, Eric Tars of the National Homeless Law Center said Utah's new facility could be a pilot program for that effort around the country. Their end goal is not just jail, Tar says. They want to put up more of these alligator Alcatraz sprung structure type facilities, referring to the ramshackle immigration detention facility constructed in a remote part of Florida's Everglades earlier this year, where detainees have been cut off from access to their lawyers and are widely reported to suffer from inhumane treatment. Uh, he noted that under the proposal drafted by the chair of Utah's Homeless Services Board, Randy Shunway, more than 300 of the beds in the facilities are slated for involuntary commitment. Other homeless people will be sent there for substance abuse treatment as an alternative to jail and will receive care and in a supervised environment where entry and exits are not voluntary. Shumway says that sounds like a different type of jail. Same thing, different. But you're gonna have to work. They're gonna have different rules than jail. You're gonna have to work non-voluntary and I don't see anything about 30, 60, or 90 days. No, I see you're just going to be there, supervised in a supervised environment. For I don't see a period of time. I don't see an expectation of recovery time. I don't see anything like that. An individual would be sanctioned to go there. It would not be voluntary, Shunway said during a presentation, according to the Standard Examiner. They would be there for a period of here we go. They would be there for a period of probably 90 days with the opportunity to detox in order to get mental and behavioral health care, to get substance use disorder support, and to get physical health care. Well, shouldn't they always get physical health? Do they have to be clean before they get physical health care? And to be surrounded by a community that's helping them in healing. So they're saying that this is going to be a healing community. Okay. According to the proposal, the beds not slated for civil commitment will include work conditioned housing. Work conditioned housing. You're not you're not committed, but to have a place to stay because you're homeless, and we're telling you you need a place to stay. You to even have this place, you're gonna have to do work around here. So this is the answer to homelessness. Obviously, we definitely need an answer to homelessness, but I don't think that these encampments that they're building up real quick in remote places of cheap land is the answer to homelessness. I don't think that that's the answer to home. I think taxing the rich is the answer to homelessness. I think that the reason why home being able to rent an apartment, buy a home is so out of reach because of the we don't have taxes from these billionaires pouring in to actually put money back on the streets. See, you got to have money on the streets. See, everybody got to get some. Everybody has to gain. When you take money off the streets when people are struggling, this is what you get. This what did they think they were gonna get? When you take people's jobs away, what do you think you're gonna get? When people are hopeless, that they are strung out on drugs. Some people, everybody's strung out on drugs. Ain't strung out on drugs for a bad position in life, but surely some are. Surely some are. There's no absolutes in everything, but surely some are. You have some people who grew up with silver spoons in their mouths who are strung out on drugs. See, but the thing about them, they always have something to fall back on. Okay. According to the proposal, the beds not slated for civil commitment will include work condition housing. Tar said that this is the thing that scares me the most because it means forced labor. He noted that other anti-homeless bill recently proposed in Republican states have forced labor element to them. In Louisiana, the bill pushing outdoor camping the bill punishing outdoor camping introduced earlier this year proposes requiring those convicted to serve up to 2 years of hard labor. So they are convicted of what? They are convicted of uh, outdoor camping. That is a conviction now. Outdoor camping is a conviction now, and they are Louisiana, uh, where your Speaker of the House is from, the second lowest state in the country, wants to have people who have no housing to serve up to 2 years of hard labor. Another bill introduced in West Virginia would have required those arrested for camping to take part in uh, facility upkeep and other forms of vocational training. Of up Okay, okay. Tar said that the Utah facility, even though theoretically you could come and go, they're going to be actively enforcing anti-camping, anti-loitering, and all of these laws. If you step foot off the campus, which he noted is over 7 miles away from downtown Salt Lake City, in the middle of nowhere with no public transportation, the state officials have said they expect that the facility to cost $75 million to construct. That's far less than that grand ballroom that every week it goes up another $50 million for this ballroom, but a peddly little $75 million will house 1,300 people. Okay, okay, because that ain't where the money is. The money is in the head count, not in the facility. The money is in the head count. Uh, plus, it would take 75 million to construct, plus more than 30 million per year for ongoing operations. Oh, they are operating that on the cheap. Bill Tibbetts, a deputy executive director of Crossroad Urban Center, a low-income advocacy nonprofit based in Utah, has said that for a facility to treat such a large number of people adequately, the cost will be much higher than $75 million. Uh, Tippett also warned that the construction of a homeless shelter in such close proximity to a facility for involuntary commitment would create an atmosphere of fear that would deter homeless people from seeking help. A 300 to 400 bed mental and behavioral health facility that people are not allowed to leave is not a shelter but a incarceration option, Tippett wrote in an email to Utah News Dispatch. Having such a facility uh, uh, correlated with a shelter would probably lead to a sense that if you do not follow the rules in one facility, you could be moved into the other. Although the Trump administration has portrayed homelessness as a primary as as permit, although the Trump administration has portrayed homelessness as primarily the result of addiction or mental illness, Tippett noted that the majority of the people who visit the shelter are not chronically homeless. They just need a place to stay following a short term period of financial hardship. These job losses and not being able to find a job. And so I guess 45, 47 is setting up for the real play that they are not going to be any jobs for you to have. And you're not going to be sleeping out on the street in offending these millionaires and billionaires uh, uh, disposition. See, the rich people, it's just horrible to see you guys out on the street. Put these people away somewhere. This the United States isn't for them. It is our the playground of the rich. So we need to do like they do in these Middle Eastern countries where like Pakistan and all of these all of these poor countries where they have a lot of poor people that go in and work on build uh, their lush uh, hotels and all of this type of shit, and they bring them in from these poor nations. The first thing they do is take their visas away, and then they have to ride a bus for hours to get to the actual nice city where they are working for a petty amount of money, and then going back and having to sleep all together in one big dormitory setting. Some of them, the toilets are just a basically a hole in the ground or a trough in the ground where they have to defecate and urinate in, that type of shit. If you ever watch, there are documentaries about these people who build actual Trump towers. These are the living conditions that they bring these people from other nations to build Trump towers. It's on YouTube. Go check it out. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it for you. Let's check that out. Hold on. Let me see if we can check that out. Let's check that out. Uh-huh. Let me see. Let me see. I saw this a couple of years ago. Hold on. I'll bring this to you. I'll research this tomorrow so I can have it ready to go tomorrow. I saw this documentary quite a couple of years ago. Hold on one second. Okay, I can't find it. I gotta move on. I got other stories to tell you. But there are a couple of things in this Raw story that I definitely wanted to tell you about. I guess that's it. I guess that is it. Now, here is the letter signed by the Utah governor saying that they agree that they need to intern these people. Uh, I'll share this with you as well. Of course, the governor of Utah does whatever he's told. July 2025. Dear members of the Utah Homeless Service Board, we write to you following President's executive order ending crime and disorder in the American street, which aligns with the values and the expectation Utah has long championed, namely the chronic homelessness is directly tied to mental illness, substance abuse, and the loss of human dignity. Do you hear? Do you hear what he said? Homelessness is directly tied to mental illness, abuse, and the loss of human dignity. It's all your fault. It's not about. It's not about taking and scrubbing the working and the middle class. No, it's about you not having human dignity. The president's historic uh, directive puts federal agencies in line with Utah's approach and fosters a renewed national commitment of public safety and order. Our state is known for its opportunity, faith, and strong communities. Unfortunately, like much of the western U.S., we have watched chronic homelessness rise across our state, and you haven't wondered why. And you equate this to a personal defect in the homeless people. Okay, no, okay. Utah must remain a place where lives can be meaningfully changed, with, not where chaos and disorder thrives. President 4547 Executive Order reinforces that many of us in Utah have long understood that effective solutions for homelessness require both accountability and support. I do agree that. This moment presents an opportunity to accelerate our efforts towards a more result, results-driven system that aligns with Utah guiding principles to end homelessness. These principles emphasize comprehensive wraparound services anchored in real accountability and community-based support. Now that sounds good. Uh, as a state leader, we do not support housing first policies that lack accountability. So no housing first, jail first. So you support incarceration first policies to deal with the homeless population. Because you say that they has have given up human decency. Yeah, it's on them. So therefore, prison and commitment first. Uh, uh, and all of the people who are homeless are not on drugs or crazy. They just are out of a job, and it's so hard for them to find jobs. It's a lot of people are who do have jobs. There are a lot of working poor people who are homeless, who are living in vehicles. And since living in vehicles is also a problem, you guys, police these people who live in these campers because they thrown out of their apartments because a lot of Americans are don't even have $300 or $600 saved, and one bad thing that happens to them, even though they're working, can get them evicted from their house, can put them behind that they get evicted from their homes, and then they find themselves living in cars and campers and this and that and the other. All of this is the problem, and then they are parked on the wrong street, and then the parking people come by. The car or camper is not registered. Then they come by and tow their cars and campers, and they can't, which they cannot get out of the impound, which has all of their everything, all of their paperwork, all of their medication, whatever. They can't get any of that, including the paperwork, to sign up for these homeless things. They don't have money to go out. Yeah, it's a whole fucking vicious cycle. But they trying to act like they offering wraparound services, not offering wraparound services where they're criminalizing you when they don't give you the opportunity to go in and get your ID, your paperwork, your medication, whatever you're going to need because you can't afford to uh, get your for all intended purposes your living facilities out of impound. So see, people like to play these games. See, they like to play these games, like like it's easy they're doing the wrong things. But these people who are taking jobs and not paying taxes on the billions of dollars that they are getting, they sitting up in the White House. They were at a great Gatsby of all things party with 45, 47, laughing and giggling when the government shut down and people food stamps had not been approved. They're sitting up at a gaudy, great Gatsby Halloween celebration. Okay, so these are to fill the president's executive and uphold public safety. We ask the Utah Homeless Service Boards to accelerate progress on transformative services based on homeless camps uh, priorities priorities recovery, treatment, and long-term outcomes, not just emergency shelter. Nobody just want emergency shelter because emergency shelter is 3 to 10 days of having shelter in most places. Okay, uh, collabor- uh, collaborate with staff and community leaders to identify gaps in our current homeless response. So your current homeless response is how you're responding to homelessness, and we know that you are policing it as if it's a crime. So you want to, hey, let us know what we're missing. Uh, uh, Taxing these people and counting these people up for our internment camp. They are not helping people. We need to know because we are policing people. So there is his letter. You can read it there. It's in the raw story. I'm gonna put this in my description box right now. Um, homeless. Here is it will be number three. I'm just gonna do it like that. Okay. There's that story. If you did not know, now you know. Um, uh, this is it's a lot that goes with this homeless stuff that they are ignoring. One thing that they are really ignoring is the fact that they are letting these corporations and Elon Musk come in and take away people's jobs, and they act like that has zero effect on the homeless crisis, but they have no solution for you. And understand, it's going to get worse. And they are building more of these internment camps. I have one more uh, that I want to talk about with this homeless stuff. Let me share my screen. Hey, Angela T. White, it is good to see you. Here we go. Hold on one second. Here it is. Okay. Inside the Rights War on the Homeless. How one uh, Trumpiest tech mogul pushed a crackdown on the unhoused all the way to the Supreme Court. So, this who's fighting homeless to make homelessness a crime. Joe Lonsdale, a former Formation 8, speaks on stage at Tech Church disrupt New York in 2013 at the Manhattan Center on May 1st, 2013, in New York City. From his new studio apartment in Austin, Texas, Barry Jones, 62, finds it easier to keep up with doctor's appointment and picked up the medication he relies on. In the months since he was finally awarded a permanent housing voucher, he's felt his anxiety abating. But during the years he spent sleeping on the streets, nearly a quarter of his life on and off, much of that spent on wait lists for assistance, Jones would regularly wake up in the middle of the night with his heart racing. The everyday stress of unsheltered life was compounded by the threat of city police sweep that could mean losing his medication, survival gear, or the documents he needed to continue accessing services. It makes you feel haunted, like a fugitive, Jones said of the local laws that criminalize sleeping in public spaces. It's hard for me to get a it's hard for me to get across just how counterproductive these sweeps are. 3 years ago, Austin reinstated a ban on downtown homeless encampments through a ballot referendum campaign financed by the city elites. You do know that Austin, Texas, once a little sleepy, homely town, became the destination of big tech, and also that nuthead. Joe Rogan decided to try to make Austin, Texas, the new comedy scene. And it seems like that big tech and the comedy scene in Austin, Texas has been short lived because Joe Rogan numbers are going down. Him and his little comedy partners are having tiffs and all of this type of stuff. And the prices in real estate skyrocketed in Austin, Texas, and they cannot find people to actually live in these expensive places that they are building for these people who work at these tech companies. They are building all of these big buildings for them, but want to and now these tech people who come in, they want to criminalize the people who are homeless because there's no low price housing being built for people who don't have these tech budgets, but they want to throw you in jail, but they can't figure out how to work out this homeless situation. As they can figure out how to lay off more people from their jobs, as they can try to figure out how to create this AI that is going to take people jobs, and they are unabashed about saying yes, it's going to put jobs out of whole jobs uh, off the table. But these are the people who are pushing to have homeless people arrested. 3 years ago, Austin reinstated the ban on downtown homeless encampments through a ballot referendum, a campaign financed by the city's elite, including Joe Longsdale, the venture capitalist now leading a pro-Trump super PAC. Since then, the city has issued more than 900 citations for the crime of sleeping, lying down, or pitching a tent in public spaces. But the estimated number of people without housing only continues to rise as Austin saw some of the nation's steepest uh, pandemic rent hikes. In 2022, just 21 affordable apartments were available for every 100 extremely low income household. Housing advocates have long argued that the city can't simply arrest their way out of homelessness. And within Austin, even proponents of the camping ban complain that it has not had its desired effect. Real estate and businesses interests are currently suing to compel an even harsher crackdown. Um, That hasn't stopped an Austin-based think tank founded by Lonsdale for from holding the city up as a success story in order to cast uh, the growing number of tent cities nationwide as a problem of lax enforcement, not rising rents. It's not the fact that people can't pay the rent. It's the fact that y'all not policing these homeless people are bad enough. This is what this what is he a venture capitalist is saying. Okay. Staff for Longdale's Cicero Institute have, remember I said about Cicero Institute? Yeah, this is who has created Cicero Institute, a venture capitalist. Okay, so staff for Longdale Cicero Institute have crisis crossed on the country to sales. Oh, wait a minute. Have crisscross across the country to sell state legislators on the idea that Austin's ban is working and that other states can best address rising homelessness by criminalizing it more thoroughly. The group made the same case in a amicus brief to the Supreme Court this year. After a majority ruling in June gave cities the green light to sweep tent cities, regardless of whether alternative shelter is available. Longdale's declared victory, thanking conservative legal activist Leonard Leo, who engineered the judiciary's rightward lurch for his advice and support for our brief. In the wake of the Supreme Court ruling, California Governor Gavin Newsom last month ordered state agencies to begin cleaning homeless encampments and possibly a move to ward off the kind of right wing attacks Longdale's has help lead as Newsom gears up for a future Democratic presidential run, which I hope is not successful in. While I do like his banner back and forth, the simple fact that he stopped San Francisco, the San Francisco vote for reparations. Fuck Gavin Newsom. Okay. A co-founder of the surveillance technology from Palantir, who decamped to Austin from San Francisco in 2020, Longdale's denounced the Marxist idea that American capitalism causes homelessness. Of course, you denounce it. Of course, he would denounce it. The Marxists. What is Marxist? You deny the fact that you guys pay no motherfucking taxes, and all y'all do is cut people jobs and all of this. But you want to deny that America's capitalism causes homelessness. That only far left activism can fix it. The Cicero Institute. So you're saying that the far left can't fix it, so you want to take it out of their hands because they're too compassionate. They're too results oriented. They want real result to the problem. Why bother with results when you can just throw them in jail? The leftist Marxist solution, they want a real solution. Do you believe that these people are really trying to fix the problem? If they really fix the problem, then they're going to have to fix that we don't tax these billionaires and millionaires. Okay. Okay, the Cicero Institute has helped transform homelessness policing from a niche fixation of a segment of Silicon Valley into a rallying cry in the culture war, bringing the new levels of both visibility and cruelty to the issue. Vice President J.D. Vance repeated the Cicero Institute's talking point at a Senate hearing last year, and some of the group's preferred measures are introduced in Project 2025, the conservative blueprint for a second Trump term. Those measures include eliminating funding for the kinds of permanent supportive housing assistance that keeps Jones, the man at the beginning of the story, that is helping Jones get back on his feet in Austin. The Project 2025 and the Cicero Institute is against giving money to these type of organizations. Let's be clear. At least 100 cities nationwide already have laws on the books prohibiting sleeping or lying down in public spaces. But the Cicero Institute approach advocates sees something more alarming, a push to defund long-term solutions and instead force municipalities to sweep the housing affordability crisis under the rug through increasingly draconian measures. Template states legislation authorized by the group allows a fine of up to $5,000 for repeat violation of camping bans and makes it easier to commit people to psychiatric institution. It also financially punish cities with higher than average rates of homelessness and redirects fundings from permanent housing to short-term shelters. Who wants to live in a short-term shelter? What's the solution in that? Okay, but this is what's going on. They're not going to give you the opportunity to be nothing but a slave. Nothing but a slave. Elements of the group's cut and paste bill have now been introduced in 15 states and passed in 8, according to the National Law Center on Homelessness and Poverty. Utah, Texas, Oklahoma, Kentucky, Tennessee, Georgia, Florida, and Missouri. Though the Missouri Supreme Court overturned its ban, the Cicero Institute also advocates legislation allowing new private prisons to enter the market and empowering governments to circumvent elected attorney generals by appointing special prosecutors to combat public lawlessness. They're calling homelessness public lawlessness. The group's political, and they are circumventing elected attorney generals. You see how they make reach arounds? So if the attorney general don't want to prosecute it, they are making special prosecutors to combat public lawlessness. The group political arm has spent at least $1.3 million on lobbying to date, according to federal tax filings. One of Lonsdale's companies, Longdale Enterprises, has also donated more than $100,000 to Republican politicians, including $50,000 to a committee controlled by Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, who was the headliner at a Cicero Institute event last spring, and more than $500,000 to the Republican Governors Association. But the Cicero Institute policies fly in the face of decades of social scientific research showing that criminalization is expensive and counterproductive and sometimes deadly, as when sweep seize life-saving medications or displace people to hazardous locations by settling the unhoused people with criminal records or unpayable fees, such measures make it harder for unhoused people to exit homelessness. One recent study of the aftermath of local criminalization ordinance in 100 major U.S. cities concluded that the measures did not lead to a decrease in the number of people counted as homeless. Okay. It's honestly false advertising. Hannah Leibowitz, a professor for the public affairs of the University of Texas at Arlington, and the study co-author said of the Cicero Institute approach, you're fooling cities and states into putting a lot of money, time, and personnel into investments that will not provide the return that you are telling them you are going to offer. The Cicero Institute did not respond uh, to a request for comment. Federal they don't even want to talk to you. They just want to sit up, get high, have these lofty ideas coming to their head. How they gonna? Why are they so concentrated on what of poor people doing? Why? It's kind of like the per capita. Why, if you are not black, why do you know all the black statistics? Why, if you're not homeless, why do you have such a fucking solution for homelessness that puts the oneness on the person who is disadvantaged and homeless? But you can't create a anything in your head that says, hey, it's not enough jobs out here because uh you are so into creating AI that takes jobs from people. You are in the big tech bubble that think that people don't. We really don't need people. We just need AI. So if you really don't care about homelessness, why are you sitting up here spending all of this money to combat homelessness? And you're a venture capitalist. So where is the money in it for you? Because that's what you really do for a living. You don't try to figure out the real solution for homelessness. You figure out how to make money. That's your job, and that's who's uh, uh, making it where homeless people, mentally ill people, and drug addicts are going to be going to these involuntary encampments because homelessness has been deemed to be illegal. So I said all of that. Let me drop this in the description box as well. This is in my description box under the number 3. I did not entitle them. This is the number 3. Um, I'm just I'm just like really disgusted at the way that our country is going. I'm quite disgusted. It is unnecessary, and it is short sighted, and it is to further. It is just further to enrich uh, the haves and not the have-nots. Let me. I also want to share with you guys. I think it's one thing that I really want to share with you guys. Let me play this. You guys remember that Denzel Washington movie where he played the security guard to the little girl Dakota Fanning when they lived in Mexico, and everywhere he was her security guard, and everywhere they went, they had to have security around them, and they lived behind gated walls and all of this. Y'all remember that? I forget the name of that movie. Well, it seems like America is, kind of turning into that by hook or by crook. This is seems what America is turning into. So it seems like this is why they are trying to. Hey, Lana, it's good to see you. Did you hear that Ukraine just hit Moscow? Let me find that. Let me find that. Let me see. What did they? Let me see. Thank you. Thank you for breaking news. Oh my goodness. Ukraine drones attack power plants, plunging Moscow into darkness. Thank you for that information. I really appreciate you sharing that with me. Uh, Lana, let's hear a little bit about it. Ukraine hits Moscow again. Furious Russian turn against Putin as he fails to protect capital. Uh, CNN, things are getting out of control. Uh, Moscow blackout. Ukraine strikes cuts. Now this is my girl. I don't think. I think this is AI. I don't think this is. Yeah. Let me share. Uh, Let me share Rachel Maddow.
Plunged into silence and shadow. The lights that what we are witnessing is nothing short of extraordinary and deeply unsettling. Moscow, the beating heart of Russia, has gone dark. A city that never sleeps, a capital that has long projected power, command, and control over the region has suddenly been plunged into silence and shadow. The lights that once illuminated Red Square, the Kremlin, and the sprawling streets of Moscow have flickered out, not by accident, not by a technical glitch, but by a direct calculated strike from Ukraine targeting the main power plants and a critical energy pipeline feeding the capital. In an unprecedented escalation that sent shockwaves through global media and political circles, Moscow, the capital and symbolic core of Russia, was abruptly plunged into total darkness after a series of precise Ukrainian strikes disabled the city's major power plants and crippled its main energy pipeline. The event unfolded in a matter of minutes, but its implications are far-reaching and deeply unsettling. It was as though a switch had been flipped, turning off not just the lights of a sprawling metropolis, but the illusion of invulnerability that Russia's leadership has maintained for years. The attack represents more than a tactical success for Ukraine. It marks a dramatic turning point in a conflict that has steadily crept toward the heart of Russian territory. The blackout is not simply a technical failure. It is a moment of reckoning that will be felt in every corridor of power, from the Kremlin to the smallest household in Moscow. As the lights went out across the capital, the first reports trickled in through social media rather than state television. Videos showed entire districts swallowed in darkness. The skyline of the Kremlin barely visible under the faint glow of emergency lights. Cars crawled through intersections where traffic signals had died. The famous Moscow Metro, one of the busiest underground systems in the world, came to a grinding halt, leaving thousands stranded in stations as emergency personnel tried to manage the chaos. Hospitals switched to backup.
Okay, well we gotta see some of this. She has described it. Let's see if we can actually see some of this. CNN has a report. Let's go here.
Russia's war in Ukraine is increasingly blowing up in Moscow. This Ukrainian drone attack Sunday night, bringing Russia's war hundreds of miles away into the heart of its own capital, shocking citizens.
My friends and I rented an apartment to come here and unwind, and at some point we heard an explosion and it was like a wave. Everyone jumped.
Attacks like this in Moscow becoming increasingly common. Last week, another Ukrainian drone hit a Ministry of Defense building. A psychological blow for a population repeatedly told by Putin's state media they are winning the so-called special military operation.
I was asleep and woken up by an explosion. Everything started to shake and the whole building had come down.
This weekend, Putin was keeping up the pretense everything is okay, celebrating Navy Day. But behind the scenes, his officials appear rattled by Ukraine's refusal to be beaten. Former President Dmitry Medvedev says if Ukraine's counteroffensive is successful, Russia will use its nuclear weapons. Meanwhile, the Kremlin is dismissing the drone strikes in Moscow as an act of desperation. The defense minister calling them terrorist attacks. Reality, they've got Moscow's attention. Ukraine's president is hinting more of these strikes to come.
Ukraine is getting stronger. Gradually, the war is returning to the territory of Russia, to its symbolic centers and military bases. This is an inevitable, natural, and absolutely fair process.
Zelensky is stating what is becoming increasingly apparent. Ukraine is ramping up drone strikes inside Russia. In recent weeks, targets just over the border in areas vital to Russia's war effort have increased too. The impact even breaking through on Russia's state media. What is clear, Ukraine's fight on Russian soil is having effect. But can it really have an effect to sort of put political pain on Putin? That seems unlikely. You know, Ukraine may be able to puncture a little bit Putin's propaganda that everything's going well in the war, that if you're in Moscow, you're safe. But it's not going to deflate the message coming from Putin and from the Kremlin. Why? Because he still controls the narrative. The strikes are relatively small. There are not big casualties. In fact, very, very few casualties. It's structural damage so far. So it's not going to, at this time, I think, not going to really put a course correction in the way that Putin's.
They don't care about casualties. Do you think that these leaders care about casualties? He invaded in Ukraine. Let's be clear. He's trying to poo-poo this attack of them defending themselves, defending their country. Now, you did. Don't let it slip by that Putin is razzled because he's now talking about doing a nuclear strike on Ukraine. How crazy is that? And he was the one who invaded them, and now he's very touched about it. If he's talking about striking them with a nuclear bomb, let's check this out.
A major power outage has been reported in Russia's Moscow region. According to Russian media, the blackout was caused by drone attacks on the region's power facilities. Residents in the area reported that the lights in their homes and on the streets began to go out in the evening. They also wrote that the power outage occurred due to an emergency situation in the power grid. Earlier, local social media channels had reported information about unidentified drones approaching the Russian capital. Moscow Mayor Sergei Sobyanin announced that one drone had been shot down on its approach to the city. Explosions were reported in the Moscow region, with Russian media citing eyewitnesses who heard 3 blasts in the city of Kolomna near Moscow. In total, 5 flights were delayed and 1 was cancelled at Nukovo, while restrictions were also imposed at Domodedovo, Volgograd, Kaluga, Saratov, and Yaroslavl airports. Residents of the city of Zhukovsky and surrounding villages report power outages at night. The head of the Center for Countering Disinformation, Andrei Kovalenko, has already published a reaction to the event, briefly noting, "The Moscow region is losing its power." At the same time, the Zhukovsky administration stated that the power outage was related to an emergency situation in the power system, without providing details.
So they lied. The Russian television lied. Just kind of like a CNN just lied to you. Our for-profit media just lied to you. Now the guy in charge of making sure that there is no Russian disinformation said this. What did he say again?
The head of the Center for Countering Disinformation, Andrei Kovalenko, has already published a reaction to the event, briefly noting, "The Moscow region is losing its power." At the same time, the the Zhukovsky administration.
Now, you heard the guy from CNN say, I don't think that this is anything. It's just, it was only limited casualties and damage to structures. They care more about the damage to structures than they care about the few people he wants to say who died. Notice there's no number of people because they don't want you to know how it really impacted. If it was a few people, you would say 6, 7, 2, 3 people died, but they are not saying how many people died because humans like us, not like these oligarchs and these people at top. They don't give a fuck about the people, but they know that how it permeated about how many people died in Palestine and how many people were being killed in Palestine, that permeated the people all across the world to say that this is some bullshit and it must stop. And it has not stopped. It continues to go on with all that fanfare about a peace agreement that was not signed by either parties, Israel or Hamas. That is still going on there. But they're trying to keep that on the low. They're trying to act like it's some peace over there. So that's why they're not telling you how many people died, because they know that human people understand that these world leaders can have it done to them pretty much like 45, 47 is putting us in peril.
Administration stated that the power outage was related to an emergency situation in the power system, without providing details. Russian authorities traditionally do not confirm the consequences of drone attacks on Russian territory. It was previously reported that several towns in the Sakhalin region were left without power due to the activation of the protection system. Power was cut off in 3 districts of Yuzhno-Sakhalinsk, as well as in the towns of Dalny, Poronaysk, Makarov, Uglegorsk, Kolmsk, Tamari, and Korsakov. The regional government later announced that power had been partially restored. As previously reported, drones attacked energy facilities in 3 Russian regions during the night of October 31st. In Oryol, following a strike on a thermal power plant, part of the city was left without electricity. According to Russian telegram channels, a drone hit an open distribution unit. At the Vladimirskia substation, a fire broke out after a drone attack. The 750 kV substation is one of the key high-voltage stations in the energy ring around Moscow and transmits power from nuclear and thermal power plants toward the capital and central regions. Residents of Yaroslavl reported explosions near the Slavneftyanos oil refinery. The local airport in Yaroslavl was also closed during the attack.
Нихуя себе! Прям просто где-то над башкой, блядь. Весь дом ходуном, нахуй. Аж...
Premises of a major condensate gas process. Strikes chalked up another process. As reported, Ukraine's campaign to cripple Kremlin oil and gas production with relentless drone strikes chalked up another processing plant set ablaze recently, with long-range robot aircraft scoring hits and touching off fiery explosions on the premises of a major condensate gas processing site near the Baltic Sea port city St. Petersburg. Flying wing drones tipped with explosive warheads swooped down on the UST Luga facility, Russia's main processing site for natural gas piped from the Arctic and West Siberia. The Gazprom-owned processing center facility is one of the largest natural gas processing plants in Europe and the main outlet for Russian natural gas exports by the Baltic Sea. According to open sources, the UST Luga complex at full capacity can process up to 45 billion cubic meters of natural gas annually, and from that produce 13 million tons of liquefied natural gas, practically all of it for export. The site's annual capacity also includes 3.6 million tons of ethane, 1.8 million tons of propane-butane, as well as naphtha, jet fuel, fuel oil, and gas oil for export. In this case, although diesel exports edged higher, weaker loadings of naphtha and fuel oil, particularly from the Baltic ports affected by strikes on the US Teluga terminal, pulled overall shipments down. Bad weather may also have slowed port activity. The decline in gasoline prices on the exchange, which has finally begun, will have a slight impact on retail prices and gas station prices, which remain high. However, certain government actions have stabilized them at this level. The Russian fuel market is currently experiencing a correction, a pullback, after wholesale gasoline prices repeatedly hit historic highs. I-92 crude fell more than 3% in a day, to 71,000.
Lana, I appreciate you coming in and telling me about that. That link is in my description box about the strikes that the Ukrainians are making against Russia. And uh, yeah, let's move on. I I I want to know why. I want you to know why this for-profit media is an issue. Because they don't give the whole story. They have a script that they are going off of. You saw the story about the people who were fired by ABC. Were mostly black people, according to one producer. We know that Gail King has been fired. Lisa, what is her name? Lisa, the Asian guy. Lisa, who used to be on The View, Ling, Lisa Ling, I think is her name, was also fired. They are holding on to their white people, and we saw the advertisement from the uh, what was that? What was that? The oh the jobs what was that, the jobs bureau, the Department of Labor, saying that they are going to give American jobs to American people, and it was all of these advertisement about American people who were going to get the jobs, were reminiscent of the 50s, in their the pictures on them were reminiscent of the 50s, and they displayed all white men and all white 1950 style families. So let's talk about how Fox News um, made a report about all of these black women who were talking about what they were going to do if they didn't get their food stamps. They talked about a woman who said that uh, she better get her food stamps because she need to feed her kid, her children, and if she don't get her food stamps, it was gonna be hell to pay, because she got seven kids, and all of seven of they daddies ain't doing nothing for them. There's a lot of AI out here representing black women saying things, and you have people like Room Shaker, who was also out here, a black woman who was also out here talking about these people say they gonna go in and they gonna get their food. They gonna go in and they gonna take their food. They say they stealing. They say they say they gonna be doing this. They got websites up, and they say. Just like a Room Shaker was out here talking about, they say Antifa gonna be blowing up stuff tomorrow, and I'm good friends with Fox News. Fox News, they out here. I told them they can use all my stuff. So Fox News is out here perpetrating a fraud, even after they understood that this was fake news. They still try to represent the AI person as a real person. Let's get into this. Even as they told you that it was AI, they still didn't say, oh, our bad. It was AI, this, that, and the other. They're still trying to say the woman said this. That wasn't a woman. That was a AI creation. So this is what Fox News told me. Why would I show Don Lemon? Why would I give my stuff to Don Lemon? He out here just like me. I love Fox News. So let's hear what Fox News is saying, lying about now. Here we go.
Very dystopian segment, frankly. So there were a bunch of videos that went viral that purported to show Black women who are moms doing the whole, like, the most caricaturish welfare queen shtick you could possibly imagine. All of them turn out to be AI. AI generated, total bullshit, made up, invented out of whole cloth. The number of conservative influencers and outlets that fell for this crap should make you despair for society, period. So here is Brett Cooper, who's very, has a large channel, very popular, etc. Here is Brett Cooper falling for one of these AI videos.
There are bad actors who have abused the system time and time again. And now that benefits might be cut off next month, they are lashing out, to say the least. Just watch.
It's been day 5 and I have not received no food stamps. My disability checks is on hold. My cash benefits is not coming no more. They're still pending. It is the taxpayer's job to pay for my kids to eat and for my kids to be taken care of. I have over 2,000 followers on TikTok and I can't get not one person to send me 50 cents. If you're watching a video and you can't send me nothing, I'm blocking you.
Now, let me say, in fairness to Brad, if you guys are just listening to this, looking at the video.
Look, I think it was like, to me, it looked 100%
hard to tell.
It looked absolute. Maybe I'm, reaching boomer levels of my inability to parse AI, but like that's pretty much what's it called? Like the realistic standard? I forget. The uncanny valley. Yeah. That's outside the uncanny valley to me. I mean, it looks 100%, like from what I could tell.
And this is not to excuse Brett, because we.
Yeah, you should always try. And we do it here all the time.
We really try because we realize at this point we can be fooled. In fact, there was an element we didn't throw to in the segment before because we weren't 100% sure that it was real. So, you have a responsibility to check these things out. And what I will say too, just as like a user guide, especially if something is just tailor-made to fit your particular political perspective and it feels a little too much on the nose, those are the ones you need to be the most suspicious of. In any case, it wasn't just that one video. Apparently, this one account created a bunch of these just like racist AI welfare queen slop videos. Here's a TikTok breaking down this one creator and what they're up to.
This is AI. Here's how we know and why it matters. It's made by Impossible_ASMR1, who, after 8 failed slot posts and a 3-month break, decided that Sora could finally make their dream content. Videos of Black women trying to use EBT in places it's not accepted. True creativity unleashed by AI. The shutdown created an opportunity to have them yell at the camera, but it's not till the whole family's back there that the full racist stereotype is fulfilled. This is rage bait, and we'll get angry commenters who, when they learn it's AI, will say, oh, but it's true anyway, which of course it's not, and that's cope for being played. They were so played they didn't notice the kid missing half an arm while the other kids are frozen in place for no reason, and these down here are warping together. They were too focused on this fake AI person cramming in a script that they used 3 other times for their other fake AI people. I will gladly knock down AI rage bait of all kinds and from anywhere on the spectrum because it's part of the same problem, casually letting our feed slip into fake parallel AI universes that exist only to divide us.
All right, so it's not just random online influencers, however, who were tricked by this stuff. It was also Fox News. It could be 8 guys up on the screen that shows you the new and the old headline. And this is so sleazy too. So the first headline is SNAP beneficiaries threaten to ransack stores over government shutdown. One mother claims taxpayers must feed her children as SNAP benefits face cuts. That's the video that Brett Cooper played. They wrote this up as a genuine story, like, look at these women and what they're saying. Oh my God. I mean, total classic throwback, Ronald Reagan era politics, right? Let's use a few bad examples to like, you know, smear everyone who benefits from this whole program in an effort to cut the.
And what I find amazing is I think it was last week. I think this was a long plan because it was last week that Room Shaker was out here parroting of the same shit, threatened to ransack stores over food stamps, not over the government shutdown, over the actual food stamp. Mother claims taxpayer must feed her children as SNAP benefits faces cuts. Now, you had a black woman out here praising ICE and pushing out of this rumor to the black community, to beef sector as fact as early as last week. Now, Room Shaker, you really need to go sit down. You really need to go sit down because I try to give you the information. You continued to spout off a whole lot of dumb bullshit, as if you are not the target of this administration. You need to go sit down, listen to people who have some good sense, who are giving you good information. But you decide to love Fox News because they are playing in your fucking face when you were sitting out there cheering on ICE agents and they said, look at this ignorant bitch we got over here. Let's go put her on camera.
Program. That's what they were going for here. Then they find out, oops, all those videos were AI. And so they totally rewrite the article, same lady here, same byline, and reframed it as, oh, AI videos of SNAP beneficiaries complaining about cuts go viral. And put B7 now up on the screen. So this is.
So if they are AI videos, why are you saying of SNAP beneficiaries? AI video people are not beneficiary of anything. So they try to continue of SNAP beneficiaries complaining. No, if it's an AI video, it's all fake. There is no SNAP beneficiary. But that's here we go.
The new way that they rewrote it. They rewrote the whole article to be like, oh, we totally knew that it was AI. Don't worry. You know, we totally get it. It's just this phenomenon of AI videos. The only disclosure they gave was this tiny editor's note at the bottom that said, this article previously reported on some videos that appear to have been generated by AI without noting that. This has been corrected. Like, that is so incredibly sleazy that they got tricked by the AI videos, wrote a whole, like, welfare queen, scary article, and then had to rewrite it once they got caught and realized it was AI, and they only put that little editor's note at the bottom. Like, absolutely disturbing. And, you know, this is the landscape we exist in now. This isn't coming. Like, this is here. And I think Sora has been probably a jump forward in the level of accessibility of high, like, pretty convincing AI creation that can now just be fed into your political feed. You've already got campaigns like Andrew Cuomo's campaign put together AI attack videos against Zoran and Curtis Sliwa in the final days of the campaign. Trump, of course, is using all sorts of AI stuff. And the other thing that I've noticed, Sagar, too, is like, some of the videos, even the ones that are completely obviously AI, people will still be fooled by it.
Oh, yeah. I'm looking at it right now. I just opened Sora just to see. I haven't actually checked beforehand. I mean, if you look at some of this stuff, it looks real, right? It kind of does look real.
Yeah.
We could put some of these in here. I think that might literally be some, but this is the genre of like what? Okay,
that one doesn't look real. That one I can't tell.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it could be real, right? Yeah.
You know. Mac was saying that, I'm sure you guys probably, we all get served all these like adorable animal videos, and I get lots of cat videos and whatever. And he was saying that in these TikTok compilations that he'll get served, some of them will be real and some of them will be AI. And so it's all mixed in together and it becomes impossible to tell reality from complete fiction. And so now we're at a point where, you know, I mean, not that Fox News has the highest of standards here, but they have a massive audience. They're incredibly influential, continue to be in the conservative space. And they're just getting wholesale taken in by some garbage AI videos
Look,
that probably took like 10 minutes to create.
You can see this happening a million times, right? Look at anybody. And this is part of the problem with confirmation bias and part of why it's so important, you know, to hear it from here. Like if you're left, right, whatever, if it's too good to be true, it almost certainly is now at this point. This is a problem on Twitter, by the way, with their verification policy where anybody can just buy a blue check. There is literal fake news BS that pervades all of Twitter. And apparently a huge number of these accounts are from abroad because the payouts, I guess, are like meaningful enough for them. But as a side note, anybody who spends their life trolling for Twitter payouts, you are a stone cold loser. The amount of money that I have made off Twitter in the last year would not be enough to turn the lights on in this studio for like 3 days. Like just so you're all aware of like with the
and you've
amount
got
of money.
a big account.
It's like fine. It's like a couple 100,000 followers.
That's a lot of people.
Sure, yeah, but it's not like, you know, I'm not like millions of followers or whatever. But the point is I literally went to go look. It's like less in a month than what you would make in YouTube from a day. So anybody out there, you're wasting your time. You should just spend your time on YouTube, like wherever else, podcast. That's a much higher ROI platform. But the point is around this is with AI, if it's limitless in terms of the friction to create these types of videos and to get the amount of views, whatever, then that money starts to add up in the aggregate. And if you have an entire farm, let's say in Bangladesh or China or wherever, where these types of dollars can go a much farther way, then it might actually be worth it for them. But just please, like for real, everybody out there, if it seems too good to be true, you have got to make sure. And this happens with everything. I mean, on the Israel conflict, right? You know, remember the Israelis were always like, oh, that's a Pallywood fake video, right? I mean,
okay. Now, if you guys don't remember,
it's hard, right? We're here.
1 second. If you guys don't remember, Donald Trump sued 60 Minutes. Donald Trump threatened to sue 60 Minutes because he said that 60 Minutes were doing a whole lot of bad coverage on him. And the director, the producer of 60 Minutes left the show. He had been with the show almost 40 years. One of 3 producers left 60 Minutes because 60 Minutes ABC decided to put someone over to watch the content that 60 Minutes would be putting out. And you know that ABC was in a merger, were in the middle of a merger that had to be approved by 45-47, and the merger has gone through. Now, also, 60 Minutes, Donald Trump sued 60 Minutes over the Kamala Harris interview that he said and complained and bitched and moaned and cried that was so heavily edited, and it was election interference is what he said. Now 60 Minutes had not had a sit-down interview with 45-47 for years because 45-47 was complaining. Hey T Danielle, AI should have to identify every video as such. What did she get from being on camera? Now, so he was suing over that Harris interview, and ABC settled the lawsuit. Now he and he also he sued I forget what network Stephanopoulos is on. George Stephanopoulos. I can't say his last name. Stephanopoulos. He also sued because he used the word rape as opposed to he was convicted of S-ing a woman. And even the judge in the case said even the judge in the case who sat on the case said, in effect, he had raped the woman. So he sued them for the word rape as opposed to word sexual assault. So both of these networks, or if it was just that one worker, I think it was ABC, settled out of court. He was suing them. I think one was 50 billion. Would it be $1 billion? He was, or tens of billions of dollars. He was suing them for billions of dollars, and they settled. I think George Stephanopoulos case. They settled for 1 year of George's the amount of George's salary. George is not losing his salary, but they sued for what he would make in 1 year. It was either 15 or $25 million. And now the network for 60 Minutes, they settled as well. You know how they settle nuisance lawsuits, and you see even after he settled, they still tried to go after the Jimmy Kimmel show and all of that, and then they brag, "We've already won so much money," as if they had done something wrong. No, they treated you like Stormy Daniels. You were a fly on their butt, and they just wanted you to go away. Because they wanted their deal to go through so they can make money. It wasn't about anything about the truth, and you knew it wasn't anything about the truth. So he then sits down and he does a interview on 60 Minutes. Did you guys see the 60 Minutes? I was asking what the lady got out of Fox News attention for getting being a sellout about she didn't get shit out of it. Y'all can use my footage. A room shaker. She was sitting at the ICE facility in Broadview talking about she could not wait and getting all excited when the ICE people came out abusing people who had their constitutional rights to protest what was going on in their city, and she's sitting up there championing ICE and championing all of these illegal things that they were doing to people, as if they're not putting this display on. So when you protest something that you want to protest, it is already going to be normalized that this is what happens when you protest, because that is it. A part of Project 2025 is to put the military out on you, on protesters. So, you know, I would go up there. I would try to, tell her, Antifa coming out. They said Antifa gonna be setting stuff on fire tomorrow. And Don Lemon went out there, and I was watching Don Lemon. I was like, that looks like where Room Shaker is too. And then so I saw a Room Shaker live later on, and I was like, hey, Don Lemon is out there. And I don't care about no Don Lemon. I don't even know who no Don Lemon is. I'm out here just like he out here. So what? But she was out there fangirling behind Fox News. I told Fox News they can use anything of mine they want. She was so set back. You couldn't see anything. Why be there if you weren't really there? Why be there? Don Lemon was out walking among the crowd, and Don Lemon got some good footage from the protesters talking to the protesters about why they there. Yeah, wow, just wow. Okay, so that's why I was correlating that with the Fox News shit. And I don't even know who know Don Lemon. I said, well, Don Lemon has a broader YouTube audience than Fox News. I'm not trying to explain who Don Lemon is. I'm not. It's not like I was a fangirl about Don Lemon when he was on CNN, because he used to irk my nerves a lot of time when he was holding the line for CNN. But since he has his own broadcast, I enjoy him But the simple fact that I don't know who Don Lemon is, okay, enough said. How she don't know Don Lemon? Uh, I don't care from him a bit, but I know him exactly. Exactly. I definitely enjoy his show on YouTube far better than I could tolerate him on CNN. I will say that. Now, he has great guests on his show that will say all of the things that need to be said. So that is a plus. So now I want to get to this 60-minute interview. Now, understand he was suing because they edited out all of the things that they edited out one of her answers to fit in the time frame that is in a show. You have a 30-minute show, you have a 23-minute of content. All of the rest of the 30 minutes go to commercials. So uh, come to find out, he sat with 60 minutes over 73 minutes, and they showed 28 minutes of what he had to say. And it really killed me that he had to bring Zoran Mondami into the conversation when he was not asked. And I want to go through some of these answers that he gave. This was on the Midas Touch. I saw this early this morning. I thought it was a hoot.
Interview that aired on TV. Another version was produced and placed online, but the version that aired on TV was only 28 of the 73 minutes of the overall interview. Now, it should be noted that CBS settled Donald Trump's lawsuit where he frivolous.
Okay. So there's that. I want you to read that. I give you that.
Sued them because they edited Kamala Harris's interview so it would fit into their airtime. Very minor mechanical edits with Kamala Harris. There were deep edits of this interview in the Midas Touch review of what went down here. Big major edits, which I'll go over with you as well. Now, CBS tends to be very litigious with their 60 minutes content, so I'm not going to actually play the videos. I'm going to describe what Donald Trump actually said, what aired on TV, and then what didn't make it to TV, but what was shown online. So you now have the benefit of not having to hear Donald Trump's voice, and I'm going to describe what went down. So the interviewer, O'Donnell, asks Donald Trump, so will you put forward a health care plan? Donald Trump says no. Interviewer, since 2015, you've said you're going to fix it. So you're not going to actually give the American people a health care plan? Donald Trump says, nope, we are not. We almost did it. And then he blames the Democrats and says the reason that we're not going to give a health care plan, he says it's the Democrats' fault. Everything is the Democrats' fault, he says. Then the interviewer says, but Mr. President, with all due respect, you've been saying this over and over again. And he goes, sorry, nothing I can do, the Democrats. All right, let's change topics, says O'Donnell. And she says, we all agree that grocery prices are going up. And Donald Trump says, nope, you're wrong. Grocery prices aren't going up, to which the interviewer says, but when you go into the grocery store, you see the prices that are higher. People know that inflation is surging right now. What do you say to that? No, he goes, inflation is done. I've eliminated it. And everybody in America is happy right now. Huh? Then they change topics and she asked Donald Trump about Zoran Mamdani in the upcoming New York City mayoral election, to which Donald Trump says, I think that I'm much better looking than him, right? Aren't I much better looking than Mamdani? That's what Donald Trump said, no, what the hell are you talking about? Then Donald Trump goes on to say that he knows that Russia and China are testing nuclear weapons, even though they're not. And the only country that's recently tested nuclear weapons is North Korea. So the interviewer goes, well, this would be pretty big news if you're telling us that you're aware of secret nuclear testing going on right now by China and Russia. And Donald Trump says, yep, that's why we need to test our nuclear weapons and why I've given the green light that we test nuclear weapons right here in the United States. So Donald says, but the only country that's tested, Donald, is North Korea. Nope. Wrong, he says. And then she goes, well, that would certainly be pretty big news if they're doing secret nuclear tests. Are you sure that's what's going down? He goes, I'm absolutely sure that's what's going down. So why do we need to test our nuclear weapons? Donald Trump says, well, because you have to see how well they work. That's why I've ordered that we do nuclear tests. We all know how devastating that's going to be if the United States starts engaging in nuclear tests. Is this guy going to blow up the entire world with nuclear bombs at this point?
Now, I did a show on Saturday. Russia has come out with this rocket that they fly, that is, the rocket can hold a nuclear warhead. The drone, it's like a drone slash rocket thing, and it can hold a nuclear warhead, and it is fueled on nuclear power, and it is supposed to be able to fly. They say unlimited, but they took it on a 15-hour run. Now, this is, and then that very same day that it was announced that it went on a 15-hour run is the day that 4547 was leaving to go see Xi and meet with Xi and pretend like he made such a good deal with Xi. That same day is when 4547 told Pete Hegseth that he wanted him to start testing our missiles. I gave you information that our missiles are already tested, but they don't test them like they used to test them because of all of the cancers and all of the damage to the environment that they used to do when they used to actually physically test them in area 50 51 or whatever. What is it, area in Arizona or Nevada? They don't test them that way anymore. So this is why he's saying that Russia is testing their nuclear weapons. It is something that can hold a nuclear warhead. It is fueled by a nuclear power, but not a nuclear or war power. This is what he's saying. And he told Pete Hegseth that he wanted the military to start. The military does not even test the nuclear weapons. It is done by the Energy Department. This is your president. This is your president. And I'm Ronnie Q. How do I know this and he don't? How do I know this and he don't? Let's continue.
Then the interviewer goes on to say, okay, let's change topics and talk about what's going on with ICE. So Americans have been watching videos of ICE tackling a young mother, tear gas being used in Chicago neighborhoods, and the smashing of car windows, just to name a few examples of what the Americans are seeing taking place on their streets. Have some of these raids gone too far, Donald? And Donald Trump goes, no, I don't think they've gone far enough. He says that he wants the tactics and approaches by ICE agents and Border Patrol agents to ramp up and to get more aggressive, he says. All right, well, let's move on to talk about your pardons, Donald. You pardoned a guy named Changpeng Zhao, or CZ. He runs the company called Binance. He's a crypto billionaire. He pled guilty in 2023 to violating anti-money laundering laws with very serious crimes he stipulated to, that his platform was used to funnel money to Hamas and Al-Qaeda, terrorist organizations, cartels, drug dealers, and he pled guilty to that. There was billions and billions of dollars in restitution that was supposed to be paid, but you pardoned him. Why did you pardon him? And you pardoned him right around the time that he provided the massive amount of financing for World Liberty Financial. I mean, he propped up World Liberty Financial with billions of dollars. That's the company that your family has a majority stake in. So he gives billions of dollars or props up World Liberty Financial, the stable coin, that is, and then you give him a pardon. Can you justify that to the American people? And Donald Trump goes, okay, are you ready for this? Are you ready? I don't even know what you're talking about. I don't know who he is. If anything, maybe I heard it's a rigged deal. But my sons, Don Jr. and Eric, they like crypto. Okay, crypto's a good business. They're in it. They run it. I don't concern myself with any of this. I don't know who CZ is. As this one account goes, he just pardoned someone who he doesn't know who he is. He's in business with him. There are so many layers of lying and insanity here. Then the reporter says, okay.
It went on and on. This link is in my description box. It just goes on and on. 60 Minutes. Let me share this with you. I have another link I want to share with you about this 60-minute interview. The link is going to be both of these links will be in my description box. Let's see. Let's see what CNN has to say about this. I haven't seen this. Let's see what they say about this.
60 Minutes, he will not negotiate with Democrats about rising health care costs until they give Republicans the votes needed to end the shutdown.
You have helped end these government shutdowns in the past when they came about, and you did it by bringing
I'm very good at it,
You
but I'm
brought
not going
members
to
of
do it by.
Congress
I'm not going to do it by
White House.
extortion. I'm not going to do it by being extorted by the Democrats who have lost their way.
Sounds like it's not going to get solved, the shutdown.
It's going to get solved. Yeah. Oh, it's going to get solved.
How?
We'll get it solved. Eventually, they're going to have to vote.
So that was the president's first interview with CBS since he sued the network over what he called the deceptive doctoring of an October 2024 interview with Kamala Harris.
Let's go live right now to CNN's chief media analyst, Brian Stelter. Brian, thanks so much for joining us. CBS News aired about a third of that interview on TV. They posted the rest online. What stood out to you the most?
Well, number one, the lack of answers on some key subjects. Trump rarely agrees to an in-depth interview like this, and maybe we're all seeing why. Trump had little to say when Norah O'Donnell brought up people living paycheck to paycheck and struggling with rising costs. He suggested people should blame his predecessor, Joe Biden, and he made generic pledges about fixing health care and lowering the price of gas. But he did have a very clear answer when O'Donnell brought up the public shock about recent videos of ICE raids.
So why is CNN lying? Let me make sure my mic is on. Why is CNN lying? We heard him say that he had no health plan. Unless he went further, he said that he had no health plan. Okay, let me see.
It's in cities like Chicago. Here's what Trump said.
I think they haven't gone far enough because we've been held back by the judges, by the liberal judges that were put in by Biden and by Obama.
You're okay with those tactics?
Yeah, because you have to get the people out.
The president suggesting that ICE officials should go even further in those raids. A really striking comment given what we've seen from the new CNN polling.
Well, it shouldn't be striking, Brian Seltzer. I understand that you are allegedly a MAGA supporter yourself. Why would it be striking when they have fired all of the heads of ICE and are replacing them with not the Department of Homeland, the border people up who are in the border patrol. Why are you shot? And the main guy who has been ordered to go into court every day to say what ICE is doing in Chicago, since they have been ignoring a judge's order that they are not supposed to use any accelerants or tear gas or pepper bullets until they announce it and give people the opportunity to clear the streets or whatever area they want them to clear. And he ignored that order, and she has what is his name? Not Dan Bongino, the other guy who was throwing tear gas his damn self for non-violent protesters. He's taking over ICE. So why are you surprised? See, CNN lies too much for me. CNN lies too much for me. Let's move on. I have a couple of more things that I had planned to tell you. CNN, Brian Seltzer, just really pissed me off. The main thing that they said when they replaced him is that they were not getting the job done quick enough. So all of a sudden, ooh, it's the first time I heard about that. Is that the first time you heard about that? No. Let me. What do I want to show? What did I want to show? The Monday deadline and the judge's ruling that food stamps must be turned back on. Let me get into that.
Shut down, people across the country formed long lines for free meals and groceries at food pantries and drive-through giveaways. Meanwhile, here in Massachusetts, there are 1.1 million people who rely on SNAP to afford their food. 32% of our children. Trump administration had a noon deadline tomorrow from a Massachusetts judge. Our NBC 10's Mary Marcos reports from the State House.
Time is almost up for the Trump administration. A federal judge in Boston wants to know how they'll feed millions by noon Monday.
The president of the United States is using hunger as a political tool.
Boston Mayor Michelle Wu and Senator Ed Markey are placing blame squarely on President Donald Trump after fighting a lawsuit intended to unlock more than $5 billion in emergency food funds.
The president shouldn't have to be ordered to keep families from going hungry.
Two federal judges, one in Massachusetts and another in Rhode Island, ruled that the administration must continue funding SNAP with contingency funds. But at an estimated $8 billion a month, the money might not be enough to cover November.
1 in 7 residents of Massachusetts are on SNAP benefits for the food they provide for their families.
With more than 143,000 people in Boston relying on SNAP benefits, the mayor announced a partnership with nonprofits to help fill the gap Friday.
In Boston, everybody eats. So while the federal administration walks away from their responsibilities, we are stepping in.
Trump responded on Truth Social, saying, "I do not want Americans to go hungry just because the radical Democrats refuse to do the right thing and reopen the government. If we are given the appropriate legal action by the court, it will be my honor to provide the funding."
The Republicans in the House of Representatives have taken a 5-week vacation. We cannot in any way negotiate with people who are not in Washington, D.C. They have a job to do. They must do it.
So again, the Trump administration has until Monday to come up with a plan to comply with the judge's orders. In the meantime, has pledged $4 million in state funding to local food banks. Reporting outside the State House, Mary Marcos, NBC 10 Boston.
And now it seems like Trump has come up with a plan. Now, in that 60 Minutes clip, I forgot to state the obvious about that Chinese guy who propped up his Liberty financial crypto coin to the tune of $2 billion, and then he was pardoned. Let's understand that this guy pled guilty to money laundering. And some of the people I reported on this I think it was Saturday or last week. I reported on this his company was fined something like $4 billion, and they lost the opportunity to do business in the United States. Now it is expected that this company will be able to be do business in the United States since he has been pardoned, and it is also expected in this unregulated crypto situation that he is going to make a whole lot more money. It is also has been reported in some of this money laundering that he did to get convicted for. No, he didn't get convicted. He pled guilty. Some of the money laundering was from Hamas. Understand, he was allegedly laundering money from what they want to tell you is such a horrible terrorist organization that they have killed tens of thousands of children in Palestine. He was allegedly laundering money for sex trafficking situations, a whole lot of shit that he was money laundering for that they want to go to war about. But but no, I pardon him. I don't even know the guy. You know, I showed you a clip where they were talking about initially. Let me find the initial clip of what he had to say about the guy he was pardoned. Let me see. Let me find that. And I'll show you this in the meantime while I show you again what he initially said about pardoning this guy. You know, people are saying that the Biden administration, they did some horrible things. Of course, he blamed it on Biden. Let me show you Adam Mockler talk about this answer as well. Here we go.
Donald Trump going from interview to interview, just admitting how corrupt he is. I want to show you this clip from his 60 Minutes interview where he's talking about a recent pardon. He pardoned a very rich crypto dude who allowed a lot of disgusting things like child sex trafficking, drug trafficking. He had used crypto platforms, his crypto platform, to allow this. Trump pardoned him, and he gets asked in this interview, hey, why did you pardon this dude? And Donald Trump claims he doesn't even know who the guy is, or why the pardon happened, or even if the pardon happened, meaning a few things. Either he's straight up lying here, which is likely, or somebody is controlling Donald Trump, kind of like the auto pen Trump always talks about, which is also very, very likely. But secondly, this exposes a level of quid pro quo, like pardon for pay or pardon for gift, whatever you want to call it, that we've never seen before. Republicans will attack Joe Biden for pardoning his son, which, by the way, he was so vindicated for. Trump has targeted every single person he said he would target, from Comey to James to Bolton. Biden was so vindicated in protecting his son. But also, secondly, Donald Trump's pardons, which are way more wide-ranging, are for direct gifts. We'll get there in just 1 second. I want to play for you this mind-blowing clip, but let's just back up because I watched the entire 60 Minutes interview, so you don't have to. And let me just run you through my thoughts. About 60 seconds into the interview, I paused it, I took a breath, and I said, holy shit, our president is so dumb. I have to listen to this entire interview, which the entire version was more than 60 minutes, by the way. It was 73 minutes, and they cut it down for TV, which is what Trump sued 60 Minutes for. Trump sued 60 Minutes for cutting down an interview, which is what they always do. They always cut down interviews for pacing. It's a quite normal thing to do. Either way, I digress. I watched the entire interview, and I was like, this guy is so dumb. Like, even beyond the lies and the me, and the constant narcissism, he just doesn't know what he's talking about. But then there are some moments like this one where, you know, the host tries to bring it back to the economy. You hear her say, let's talk about the economy now. And Trump tries to continue talking about trans issues.
I mean, I could go point. These
Can I
are
ask
not
you about the
80-20.
economy?
These are 99-1 issues. And they don't change. I just watched this morning a
Mr.
show
President,
where.
can I ask you about
Yeah,
the economy?
Just one thing. I watched a show this morning where a very well-known Democrat congressman was fighting like hell for men playing in women's sports.
Who? Is he going to name him?
They don't change. They
Who
don't
was
run.
that?
Who?
I don't want to tell you. You'll be able to check it. Just
Who?
check your local TV.
Who?
It's like in high school, and you're like, oh, you
Nobody.
have a girlfriend? Who is she? It's like, oh, she goes to a different school. I don't want to tell you the exact name. That's what Trump's doing here. That's exactly what he's doing here. Number one, no Democratic congressmen are out there constantly advocating for this. Number two, she was trying to ask him about the economy, trying to say, sir, let's go to the economy now. And he continues to harp on these culture war issues. It's like he's spinning out, getting himself worked up. He's doing this thing where he's leaning forward, getting himself all worked up. Maybe we should talk about the economy because we do know that there's, quote, overwhelming evidence, end quote, that tariffs have raised consumer prices, says Bank of America. They wrote in a note that consumers have covered about 50 to 70% of the cost levies to date. So the vast majority of cost levies have been covered by consumers. Let's just back up for 1 second and check out this clip where Trump is talking about the pardon of Changpeng Zhao. I want to talk about his corruption more extensively after this, but make sure you're subscribed to the Adam Mockler feed.
Okay, let me show you what he said when he initially pardoned this Binance guy. I had to find it. Let me show you what he initially said. He don't know the guy. I don't know him. Let's see this report.
Which undercuts what was. He claimed that the country fraudulently used a TV ad featuring Ronald Reagan speaking negatively about tariffs. Meanwhile, tonight we are all asking one question. Is the White House for sale? A few moments ago, we mentioned that President Trump has now pardoned the founder of cryptocurrency exchange Binance, known as CZ, which undercuts what was part of a key Justice Department effort to crack down on crypto crime. So here's what you need to know about all of this now and why it matters. Binance is the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange. CZ's net worth, more than $85 billion. Well, back in 2023, he pleaded guilty to violating anti-money laundering rules. He was sentenced to 4 months in prison, and Binance was ordered to pay more than $4 billion in fines. But here's what is critical and critical to this pardon: his ties to the Trump family crypto venture, World Liberty Financial. The Wall Street Journal reports that Binance has also been a key supporter of that business, which has meant a huge boost to the president's personal wealth. And here's what the president had to say when he was asked about the decision to pardon CZ earlier. Watch this.
A lot of people say that he wasn't guilty of anything. He served 4 months in jail, and they say that he was not guilty of anything. I don't know him. I don't believe I've ever met him. But I've been told by a lot of support. He had a lot of support. And they said that what he did is not even a crime. It wasn't a crime, that he was persecuted by the Biden administration. And so I gave him a pardon at the request of a lot of very good people.
But it is important to note that CZ himself did that he broke federal law by failing to install strict compliance systems at Binance. Joining me now, Ken Vogel, New York Times reporter who has been covering this story. His new book, Devil's Advocates, The Hidden Story of Rudy Giuliani, Hunter Biden, and the Washington insiders on the
So the head of RFK Jr.'s drug, the guy who was over the drugs that the CDC was approving, he has been sued. Let's get into that. And he was let go, put on administrative leave. Let's see what this lawsuit entails. Let me show you who he is. FDA top drug regulator resigns amid investigation. If you did not know that, let's get into this story. And he's being sued. After the lawsuit dropped, he resigned. What does that tell you?
Who was the head of the FDA's drug division, an incredibly powerful position. I want you to think about this. The guy who is the head of the drug division of the FDA was sued yesterday. As a result, has resigned, but that was after he was placed on administrative leave on Friday because of a LinkedIn post that he did, which was not only inappropriate, but allegedly a part of a broader scheme to extort this guy because he had basically this horrible kind of perception of what this guy's trying to do. Okay, so I'm getting ahead of myself, so let's talk about this. This is some great reporting from the Wall Street Journal and other outlets, but I'm going to focus on the one from the Wall Street Journal. So here we go. So a Canadian pharmaceutical company has sued the guy who was the head of the drug division of the FDA, and that guy's name was George Tidmarsh, Dr. George Tidmarsh, hired in July by FDA Commissioner Marty Makary to run this drug division. This Canadian pharmaceutical company, the name of it is Aurinia. I'm really sorry. Aurinia. Aurinia. It has sued him for attempting to solicit a bribe and intentionally tanking the company's stock with false statements as a part of a revenge campaign against a former colleague by the name of Kevin Tang.
So, are you shocked? Are you shocked? I'm not shocked. Thank you, and thank you for giving me that information, Lana. I appreciate you. Are you shocked? All of the illegal shit that is going on in this administration. You cannot be shocked.
Aurinia Pharmaceuticals filed this lawsuit in federal court in Maryland yesterday, and Dr. Tidmarsh resigns after this lawsuit comes forward. But the detailed accusations in the lawsuit are pretty outrageous. It basically says that Tidmarsh has been on a campaign of revenge and retribution. Does that sound familiar? He's taking notes from.
So, did you think that this is the one who called Pam Bimbo Pamela Joe? Do you think that Pamela Joe's DOJ is going to prosecute him? I think not. I think they are going to close any investigation or not even open an investigation into this matter. But they want to say and investigate you for working within your constitutional rights if you dare protest.
Donald Trump. He's been on a campaign of revenge and retribution against this guy, Kevin Tang, for years. And let's get into some of the things that have been alleged. So Tidmarsh in September of this year went on LinkedIn, and you know, let's just take a small detour. I don't know about you, but LinkedIn has kind of become this new, very gossipy social media platform. When before, for me, it was just let's post professional things. But if y'all have been on LinkedIn lately, and please share your comments and thoughts in the comment section of this post, of this YouTube episode. But LinkedIn has kind of gone next level when it comes to sniping political statements, etc. So on LinkedIn, Tidmarsh in September posted that an FDA-approved kidney drug called voclosporin had, quote, not been shown to provide a direct clinical benefit for patients, end quote. Now, Aurinia is the only maker of voclosporin. So right after Tidmarsh posts this on LinkedIn, the stock of Aurinia dropped 20% in just a few hours, wiping out more than $350 million of market value for that company. You'd be pissed, wouldn't you? I would. Now, the FDA said it approved voclosporin back in 2021 because that medicine had been shown to be a, quote, clinically meaningful benefit in drug trials. Now, Tidmarsh later on takes down the LinkedIn post and says, oh, I'm sorry, I wasn't speaking in my official capacity. I was only speaking in my personal capacity. Bullshit. So, Aurinia and its U.S. subsidiary sued Tidmarsh, saying defamation and the propagation of falsehoods, and it includes damages that are being sought, like punitive damages against Tidmarsh. Now, that LinkedIn post was brought to the attention of officials at HHS, Health and Human Services. So they put Tidmarsh on administrative leave on Friday, and just 48 hours later, what happens? That federal lawsuit is brought. Now, here's the campaign of revenge and retribution that's detailed in the lawsuit. Tidmarsh for years has been going after the Aurinia board chair, a guy named Kevin Tang. Now, when Tang and Tidmarsh worked at a company called La Jolla Pharmaceuticals, Tang was the board chair and basically asked Tidmarsh to step down as the CEO. Tidmarsh left that job at La Jolla Pharmaceuticals, and the press release at the time said that Tidmarsh was leaving to, quote, pursue other interests. Kevin Tang is a well-known pharmaceutical investor, and this is back in 2019 when Tidmarsh and Tang first kind of went head-to-head in terms of being at odds. Over the next several years, according to the lawsuit that was brought by Aurinia against Tidmarsh, the following were spiteful messages, a series of which were sent to Kevin Tang and his business associates. Tidmarsh wrote in one text message to Kevin Tang, quote, "You will be exposed. Are you enjoying failure? Get used to it." And these text messages were included in the lawsuit that was brought by Aurinia Pharmaceuticals against George Tidmarsh. Now, here's the thing. When Tidmarsh first joined the FDA, he said in a video later on that was posted, "I am working with the, quote, new FDA." That's what he said in a LinkedIn post in just November, right? "And I'm working in the new FDA, according to Tidmarsh, to, quote, to remove from the market desiccated thyroid extracts." Now, I don't know what the hell desiccated thyroid extracts are, but this is what I do know from this lawsuit. Desiccated thyroid extracts is a product that is important to yet another company that is led by Kevin Tang, American Laboratories Holdings. So then Tidmarsh sends another message to Kevin Tang just in December saying, quote, "I'm not powerless." Now, we're going to get into American Laboratories in just a second, but I want you to stop and think for a second. Somebody holds a personal grudge against you for a professional slight that they perceive has been perpetrated by you. This person then gets a job as important as being the head of the drug division for the FDA. You are a pharmaceutical investor and you're the board chair for these big, important pharmaceutical companies. And this person now uses their official position in their official capacity to tank your company's stock.
Okay, so that's the link to that story. This is who your government is hiring. So do you think that insider trading is out of the picture if they are doing things to actually tank your stock? What are they doing for these billionaires who they bring into the White House after the stock market crash when the tariffs were announced, and the same day that they hold off on the tariff, they bring in billionaires to tell you, "Oh, I know you made a lot of money. This man made $2 billion yesterday. And how much you made? $980 million yesterday." Do you think that they are not alerting each other when to buy, sell, pull out, this is your administration. Now, I talked to you about that Charlie Kirk situation where he had, and the JD Vance situation. Now there is a lot of strange things going on. And a lot of questions going on about this Charlie Kirk situation. They said that there was no autopsy when, in fact, in the state of Utah, if someone dies of any homicide or anything like that, they must have a autopsy. And now there have been some people filing the equivalent of a FOIA request to see the autopsy. It's not called FOIA in Utah. It's called something else. And they have not even bothered to answer the request and allow the request to lapse without any answer. They're not saying yay or nay. They're acting as if they don't see the request. So they have to submit the request, which I'm pretty sure if they ignore the ones they keep ignoring these requests. There has allegedly been no death certificate issued on him. It's a whole lot of shit. I will leave. Now, they are saying that for JD Vance to go any further in politics, he's going to have to ditch that Hindu praising wife of his. This is what they're saying. I have no problem with her religion, her race, her anything, but it seems like MAGA does. It seems like JD is actually apologizing for her not being a Christian. Now, there was he was being introduced by the grieving widow Erica Kirk, and she said that there's something about JD. He kind of reminds me of my husband. And he came out and he put his hand on her hip, his fingers toward her ass, and they hugged and embraced, and she had her fingers all intertwined in his hair and all of that. So that is really causing a stir. So and there is some reaction to this. I will drop the links in the description box as I show you a couple of these reactions. Let's start from the beginning. Let's start with this reaction. I'll turn the volume up.
Video says $1 billion. Both those widowers had their husbands publicly and violently executed in front of the entire world. Yet look at how each one mourns. Jackie comes out wearing a black veil with her children along her side in a somber memorial, in a quiet funeral. I know we're supposed to celebrate someone's life. No, we're not. It's supposed to be a somber occasion, dignified, with respect to the one who passed. And yet, look at Erica. She's coming on stage like she's Hulk Hogan with fireworks going off in her white corporate boss lady pants. She's wearing white, hanging all over Trump. Usually it's Trump who gets in trouble for touching women inappropriately. In this case, it might be Eric who catches a #MeToo charge from Trump.
I'll let you guys see this again real quick. Compare and contrast, if you will. The Beyonce of grieving. Okay, let me share my next response with you. Let me share about this, kind of like about this same situation. I will put the link in the chat for this one as well. As we wrap up what we are talking about today. Let me share this with you. Let me get the sound on.
I studied healthonomics. You might want to call me a healthorologist because I know healthoristical behavior when I see it. And that right there, oh baby, that right there. See, let me tell you, let me show you. Anytime a woman take her hand and drive it up the back of a man's neck into his hairline sequence, and when her hands go up and take a butterfly effect inside his hairlines, it's something going on in that. Oh, it's way deeper. We see just surface stuff. I see the intimacy of it all. Oh, yes, it's something way deeper than what we see. And what we see is of obviousness that it's more than just we working on the same side. No, you working more than just the same side. You ain't like this, baby. You like this. And damn time Heifer run her hands up in Herman's head like that. She can go ahead and tell her family to make funeral arrangements. Oh, yeah. Oh,
I have never heard of her. It seems like Truth and Reason, you've heard of her, but girl, I just fell out when I saw that. I fell out when I saw that. I have never heard of her, and somebody sent me that. Now, speaking of, since ooh, girl, she has me. I have subscribed to her after I saw that. Now, speaking of, since AI can do it to black women, you know what they say. Two can play that game. It seems like in that same venue of what's going on. Did you guys see this? Did you guys see this AI? This is AI. I am making you aware that this is AI. Here's the link to this. Maddie J. I think this is what Maddie J is saying, that they may as well just came on out and did all of this since they did what they did. Nah, AI is scurry. Now, I sent this to Deanna Irving, and she said something that made me think. She said, "So, you see this, and we know what really happened, and we see how good this AI took off on it. How long have they been using AI?" And I was like, you know what? That is a good question. How long have they been using AI? Are they just pretending that AI got this good? How long have they really been using AI? And I was just like, all I could say was that is a very good question. Now, speaking of AI, this is the one of the earlier creators of AI warning with his own warning. It's the no, it's just no. That's not it. This is no. This is a guy asking if the Trump presidency is really that unusual. Let me get the volume up. Hold on.
The American president. When you're talking about a fifth of the population that is kept in abject bondage and brutality, then this looks strikingly familiar to them. This is a clear part of American history. What is different is that this is now happening in terms of the self-interest of the White House. This is happening even in opposition to white Americans. And that's where the instability is coming from. White Americans are finding this to be different because they are not in a position of having their interests being threatened by whoever's in the White House. They're in the position of having their interests being served by the guy in the White House, regardless of who else it's being applied against. That's new. That's different. That's unprecedented.
Is the Trump presidency really that unusual?
It's that unusual for white people in America. Throughout most of American history, it has not been unusual for anybody who wasn't white in American history. If you were black in America, then this is a fairly familiar person that you're looking at in terms of the American president. When you're talking about a fifth of the population that is kept in abject bondage and brutality, then this looks strikingly familiar to them. This is a clear part of American history. What is different is that this is now happening in terms of the self-interest of the White House. This is happening even in opposition to white Americans. And that's where the instability is coming from. White Americans are finding this to be different because they are not in a position of having their interests being threatened by whoever's in the White House. They're in the position of having their interests being served by the guy in the White House, regardless of who else it's being applied against. That's new. That's different. That's unprecedented.
Okay. I want to share this with you.
County, the city of.
Okay. Free rent and water in Atlanta until January 31st. Mayor Dickens did that. Is this good or bad? Now, someone, Angie just sent me this. I want to share that with you. Let me like this. Let me restart this so you can see this directive that the Atlanta mayor has just put down. Let me share this with you.
None should go hungry or wonder how
Free
they'll
rent
feed their family
and
because
water
of political gridlock.
until
Therefore,
January 31st.
earlier today, I issued an
Law.
administrative order directing
Who else
the
city
following
did something
actions.
like this besides
The
Atlanta?
commissioner of the Department of Watershed Management will refrain from terminating the water services of any residential watershed management customer due to non-payment from today through January 31st, 2026. The Atlanta Housing Authority, Atlanta Beltline Incorporated, Fulton County, the City of Atlanta Land Bank Authority, Invest Atlanta, Partners for Home, and the City of Atlanta's Department of Grants and Community Development are called upon to institute a temporary moratorium on residential evictions and filings in city-owned, city-sponsored, and funded housing units and housing developments, also through January 31st. No resident, none, should go hungry or wonder how
Free
they'll
rent.
feed their family.
All right, Atlanta mayor. Give it up. Give it up. I give it up for the Atlanta mayor. You know, you have to say, for real, the whole time. You mean they've been using AI the whole time? So let's give it up for the Atlanta mayor. I know that while there are some people I would rather have to go to work for their debauchery, I would applaud the seniors and the disabled and the children who are going to be protected because it doesn't seem like your government is up to the job of doing what government is supposed to do for the people because they're so beholden into making everything a way for billionaires to get richer by privatizing all of these different social services, shall I say. So I appreciate you guys for being here. Please like, comment, and if you comment on the video, I would greatly appreciate it. If you like the video, I would greatly appreciate it. And if you come on with me tomorrow, I would greatly appreciate it because I will be here. I appreciate you all being here. I appreciate anybody who is catching the replay. Now, that's it. And that's all. If you didn't catch the earlier, hey newbie, it's good to see you. If you didn't catch the earlier part of the video, make sure you check it out where I talked about. What's the first thing I talked about? Where I talked about how they are creating these facilities to what they're creating these facilities for the homeless where they will be committing you involuntarily, where they're making homelessness a actual crime. And some hedge fund guy is taking this all across the country to get different states to label homelessness as a crime where they can against your will commit you to these institutions, these jails, these slave encampments, however you want to say it, because they are forcing work upon you. So being homeless is now a crime that you will have to work off in a facility. Louisiana wanted to give the highest crime for homelessness as 2-year hard labor. Louisiana, where Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, has put Congress on vacation after their month-long vacation. He has put them on another extended vacation of 5 weeks as they make $280,000 a year, and his state wants to punish homeless people to 2-year hard labor. Make any of this make sense? This is your government at work or not. All right, guys, I appreciate you guys for being here. Hope you have a wonderful remainder of your day. And speaking of Jill Comfort Zone, I was going to say, as Jill Comfort Zone says, stay sucker free. Speaking of Jill Comfort Zone, this Saturday at 6, I believe it's either 6 or 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. She's having her 3rd annual poetry jam. Let me drop the link to her channel. It is always a good time. She always have very good contestants. Let me drop her link. I'll go over there and check her out. Here's the link to her channel, and let me make sure I know what time the poetry contest is. The poetry contest is, let me see, it is this Saturday. It must be on her JCZ. The 3rd annual poetry competition is 6:30 p.m. on this Saturday. The cash pot is $600. If you would like to donate to the competition, you can send a cash app to $JComfortZone. So you can donate to the cash pot at $JComfortZone, all one word. All right, no spaces. All right, guys, here's the link to her channel. The flyer is on her wall. Hey, Z Sarah. Hey, Rose Bennett. The flyer is on her wall. Thank you. I appreciate that, Truth and Reason. Hey, Ronnie Q, I'm going to have to rewind and watch the replay. I'm sorry I missed your live. I always appreciate you, Z Sarah, and your support. And I always appreciate people who catch me on the replay. It's always available. Much appreciated. Okay, guys, I hope you have a great remainder of your day. And we may be doing something different. I tried it this morning and I don't know what happened, but we will be trying something different, hopefully tomorrow. All right.
In the morning when I'm driving, I really come alive when I listen to my Ronnie, Q. They are rare and they are few who can compare